Welcome back to Heroes CCL. I'm still Bahamut, still joined by McIntyre and Grubby. We've had a nice little break where we got to watch Kyle Ferguson interview Legacy. I totally knew exactly who it was when we were going into that. And it was a nice little kind of just break right there for us to stretch our legs and get ready for our next best of 5 of the day. We're going to be having Diamond Hands going up against Storm Esports. And I'm super, super excited about this next matchup. We're really going to start breaking apart these top tier, or these top 4 teams in Heroes CCL. Will Storm Esports be able to make some big plays, or will Diamond Hands, as we've been kind of making the jokes here, McIntyre, will Diamond Hands hold strong?
Yeah, it'll be a really good series. Again, Diamond Hands has definitely been scaling. They seem to be clicking as a team. They were all really natural, strong players. And these are also, two of our newer drafted teams this season, right? We have Diamond Hands here looking at their roster, Bad Benny, Uki, Valimar, Gotfilth, and Funds. Like, these are players that had not played together until this team, and it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of build that synergy together, as well as Caesar Salad now as that sub picked up from Diamond Hands too. So possibly something that they could utilize today, or maybe he's even helping the roster outside of the game, in-game, maybe draft, just watching over their shoulder as they play into these matches today.
When we look over at the side of Storm Esports roster, Grubby, what are your thoughts going into this?
I'm looking at Kepi there. He has been basically dominating on Mephisto. I think he's the only one in this league that is showing how strong that hero is. And I've been seeing a big trend, an upwards tick in the Nexus in Storm League of Mephisto's just dominating. It feels like he's the sleeper OP pick that not enough teams are using. And he also brings Korean draft knowledge. I think that's the secret sauce for Storm. Everyone on this team is extremely skilled, despite BBJ's modesty about his own mechanical skills in that interview just now. He is, but the game knowledge is also good, and we get that bonus intercontinental knowledge from Kepi.
I'm sitting here giggling because I got to watch BBJ play a main tank this past weekend. I actually got to see, on Friday, I got to see BBJ play Garrosh in an ARAM tournament, and literally... Oh God, Mac! You didn't have to say that. I was going to say he had the chance to turbo. He turbo fed. He basically got hit with a speed barrier and ran into a bush and got killed very easily. So
no, he died on Garrosh. That is bad.
He turbo fed though, Grubby.
He died and then he died and then he died.
He died and then he died and then he died.
That really changes my opinion. That changes my opinion a lot of Legacy. I'm gonna tone down on the compliments I had prepared.
What? For Legacy?
Sorry.
For BBJ, I was like, wait.
BBJ, sorry. BBJ,
I was just I was like,
BBJ.
I mean, we can compliment Legacy. He had a great right wing in the last best of 5 series.
The interview just now, and the image of this man was still burned into BBJ. Yes,
we are flaming
that
BBJ.
Changes my opinion of BBJ.
All right, well, let's find out. While we continue to flame BBJ, let's find out where we're going to go, where we can flame BBJ. It's going to be the map choice of Storm Esports. But how did we get here? Well, the members of Diamond Hands won the coin flip, opting for first pick priority. They banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen. We had a ban from Storm onto Dragonshire, and Storm will be choosing to take us to Cursed Hollow, a large map, and it's the same map we actually started our last Best of 5 series on. I'm actually really excited to start on Cursed Hollow. I think it's just a good place to, throw on a boss pit or
throw.
It's a great place to throw in Here's the Storm, but I really like it because there's a lot of dynamic and draft theory. I feel like this is a very draft theory heavy map to go into for your first win in a Best of 5 series, Mac.
Yeah, it's probably the most chess-based map in the game, right? And I'd say that even with Sky Temple existing, which is a map where you can definitely win without fighting. I think Curse is another one that if you just kind of move around the boss as well, position around the curses, and get your camps out on time, kind of utilizing the camps to get damage, you can just win without really having to fight. This is a map where you're right, drafting is super important because it's going to allow you those opportunities. If you take Varian Kerrigan, and you kind of run at the other team, they can just kite you and push the side lanes, right? That's not going to work as well here. But if you take those 2 picks and then you take something that also pressures the side lanes, then you that's when the harmony kind of happens, right? And always on Curse Hollow, always must take something that will fight for the boss. These bans are coming out real quick here. Diamond Hands going with the Sylvanas Greymane, a target there for Kepi, and this side of Storm is going to respond with the Lucio and Sonya. Maybe looking out for Grubby with that Lucio ban.
Too bad. I'd always love to see some Lucio, but this is one of the first Greymane bans that we have. Just targeting Kepi on a map like Curse, where you know that's going to be high prio.
I think it is, and it is a great map for the Greymane, right? So good at doing the camps. You can basically solo any of the camps by himself, and the speed at which he does it, I think, is what's so efficient. Plus, pushing with like bosses, his damage siege-wise is so good. But a good replacement for siege damage is going to be that Tychus pickup when he hops into the Odin, able to push behind a hard camp, able to push behind a boss, or with a curse even, getting some of that siege damage. And Stukov for VBJ. Really strong pick as well. Again, reactive armor, just so good, even against a character like Hogger. We'll see if some magic damage comes out from Diamond Hands.
Funny enough, Diamond Hands actually in week number 4 and the last map they played, they did ban out a Greymane as well on Sky Temple. So it's only it's only Diamond Hands who have and it's only been once, but it's only Diamond Hands who are a little afraid of this hero. That was also that matchup against Granite Gaming, who they banned against. So either way, that was just a little update if anyone was wondering. It's only Diamond Hands who fear the Worgen or the human, whichever form he's in. But Diablo ban, I don't disagree with this at all. The dive blow potential from Diamond Hands is looking really good here, Grubby.
It's interesting to ban Diablo when you have Tychus anyway, but when Diablo is not the only frontliner, when you've also got Hager and Gus to worry about, you cannot always cherry pick who you attack. And Diablo would be the last target you want to attack, even if you have a minigun. Because if you can kill him fast, you can kill someone else fast as well. And there's that early Hogger that will be causing disruption. Greymane is also quite good into Hogger. Hogger likes to pummel people to reduce their magic damage, and auto attacks are good. So these Tychus and Malthael picks are fantastic. They completely negate the Hogger level 13 talents that are quite key in any team fight. So it's gonna have to be an explosive battle for Diamond Hands in order to not basically die to these percentage damages from Tychus and Malthael. Too fast.
Do you think that they take Stitches here? Maska was just saying that the Anub is... Oh, no, it isn't. I was going to say the Brightwing Stitches is so good. And Masquerade was just saying that Anub is the counter to Stitches. They ban out the Anub from the side of Diamond Hands. They are going to go with the May. Would have been cool. I do like the Diablo, though. I think an argument to that, Grubby, with the, they do have the Tychus, is that... the Brightwing heal is still just so strong with the Diablo, right? So much percent healing. And Mathiel was, I guess, a counter. I'd say a counter pick to the fact that I think they assumed Stitches was coming. Like they actually, Storm took Mathiel and they were like, yes, please draft Stitches. And then maybe Diamond Hands has to kind of turn around. But there is May, Cassia, really nice synergy. And the Hanzo last pick is going to be really, really sick. Those arrows coming in to kind of turn team fights, and the way that Diamond Hands fights, I think they stack up a lot, right? Cassia, May, and Falstad probably all trying to auto down the Muradin or the Mathiel, and in those cases, a good arrow connecting could be a game winning. So, yeah, these are two really good comps. I actually say that Diamond Hands' boss control is better. So if whatever case, if they get into a 5v5 posture, that they can steal bosses, and that's kind of their win condition. Meanwhile, Storm can do bosses really fast. So if they're able to move them around the map, get windows where, they get a pick, and then they go to a boss, it's a 4v5, they are to win. I would actually say I prefer the side of Storm's draft, actually. That Stukov Murden, I think, are just going to pop off together. Mathiel last writing down targets with the Hanzo arrows coming in. I'm going to give this one to Storm, but I would say look out for the Gust. Look out for the May Walls. Going to be a close one.
Alrighty, thank you for the breakdown, McIntyre. And you know what? Instead of introducing the teams, you can see the names. Let's actually get into some comms. We're going to jump into Storm comms to kick off this first map.
Love it.
What's up? Okay, calm down. Stop laughing so hard. I can't. Okay. Yeah, Kevin, hard camp at 1 minute. Somebody will come cover your wave. Don't let Cassie attack too hard on first
Yeah,
wave.
I'm good.
Me and Stukov easy camp.
Yeah.
Focus. Stay bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelsey here, I
level
think.
Just care. We don't really want to scrap level 1.
Yeah, I missed Sin.
Anyone don't show?
Oh,
All
that
dead,
thing.
right wing.
They know I'm here.
Don't see May yet. Cassia top. Could be a May with her.
Fuck up
wave.
here.
May top, yeah.
Oof, almost hit him.
You good top, Calvin?
Seems like the players had a little bit of a laugh when we came in right there, but
Syndicate mode.
yeah, you know,
I
it's,
love that you jumped into those.
yeah, no, it's just one of those things that was just like, you know what, let's find out what they have to say at the start of the game, and apparently they're a little surprised as us joining in there. I think I was like BBJ in the background, like, okay boys, and Lobber's just losing his mind. The coolest thing out of all of that, though, is we talk about this from week to week, and I just want to point it out again. If anyone heard the soft-spoken Kepi, who was actually, you know, I want to do this, and, you know, it's just that communication, and they mentioned it in the previous interview. BBJ was saying that he's working on his Korean, and Kepi's working on his English, and they're trying to work on communicating with each other, so that way there's more, well, communication between the players. So just really, really cool to kind of see the growth of Kepi. And I believe you mentioned previously, Grubby, that he's starting to stream more and work on his English through that as well.
Yep, you know, he has been streaming. You can catch him in the HOTS category from time to time. I'm not exactly sure when or how, but I did catch it once or twice. Nice, definitely nice to see, as I think he plays on NA and Korea both. Now, big engage trying to be happening here on Godfield. He's trying to juke the bolt, but Lauer holds very pro. Bad Benny with the peel there. Can't walk through the blizzard. Godfield gets away. And you know, he got a whole wall there. That's a big push. Meanwhile, Fun's trying to defend into IB Tinks' Tychus, and Bruiser Camps clashing at the mid towers. This is a mixed bag for both teams. When your camp arrives first, you get siege damage, but it also loses out big time because the towers are helping the defenders, and then you've got that delayed pressure of the Bruiser camp. I love it when teams push with 3 to 4 people with the Bruiser camp. Right now, we've got 2 people. Are they just gonna let it crash on the wave? Crash like a wave on the tower? Yes, they are, and that's for Diamond Hands to deal with.
I was watching this bottom lane, and IB Tings was not even using the dash. It might have been on cooldown, but there was a blizzard, a polymorph, even a Gotfilth fend into the front gate. BBJ sitting in this bush waiting for the setup here with the with the lurking arm and the weighted pustule. No virulent reaction just yet. Good play, though. And Tychus going into that Master Assassin. We're seeing this more and more. Maybe Master Assassin's a lot more meta than we expect, but Grubby's already broken that down, that it's very good for the Commandeer Odin auto attack value, because that passive is going to be increase Tychus's attack speed by 10%. You don't get the 15% attack speed from the reward until you finish all 15 kills. Grubby mentioned in the previous series, if it's 1, 5, 14, you don't get that value. You have to get the 15 takedowns. As we have our first objective still kind of stalled out, no one really going for it. Lobber trying to put some pressure into the face of Bad Benny and crew.
Getting a little bit of that level 16 first tribute flashbacks that you were talking about casting before, Bahamut.
A little bit, a little nervous, sweating a little bit here, but it might be the 80-degree room that I'm in.
Okay, 80 degrees Celsius is indeed quite warm.
Yes.
As Diamond Hand starts posturing and starting to try and cap the tribute, I want to point out Hogger's level 4 talent. We actually had the pleasure of having Aki in our Storm League game recently, on our side luckily, and he played Hogger, as I definitely wanted to yield that role to see his first blood there for Diamond Hands. They get the kill on Hanto, polymorph into the Cassia Fend, and that should be the first tribute for Diamond Hands. What did they give up in return for it? Not too much. Funz has been doing a good job soaking and defending, so a small little victory for Diamond Hands. But back to Aki's Hogger. He played that, and he played this brute force talent that had recently been buffed. Loot Horde range, 20% more. Damage increase, 50%. How much damage is Loot Horde? It's 140.
Ooh.
So that's 70 bonus damage, 20% bonus range, and with every staggering blow you do against heroes, more so if you stun them, you get auto attack damage stacks. Up to 150 bonus auto attack damage. It's quite cool, but the question always is, how many auto attacks does Hogger really get off in a team fight? And that is the big question to answer. And I thought he was just testing maybe even like, it's a low elo game anyway, so I can just get away with this. But he was serious about it, apparently. We're seeing it here in the CCL. Let's see how it does. It makes his boss capping faster, that's for sure.
He's an amazing innovator when it comes to playing Hogger, and I love always catching at Kepi getting caught out in the mid lane, but he's going to get a burst healing from BBJ, and Kepi still stays alive. Did lose some of those redemption stacks earlier when they were picked off in the bottom lane, currently sitting at 3 out of the 12 stacks on that one. Lauber's baseline Stormbolt is going to be 14 out of the 25, but that level 4 Sledgehammer is going to amplify that as well. Earlier you were mentioning, you know, during that kill, what did the members of Diamond's Hand give away? There was a flight from Falstad. Funds was able to fly into the top lane and catch the soak just as it was expiring in the front gate. So just super good macro coming out so far from Diamond Hands, holding strong, making some smart decisions. And can they invade onto this point quick enough? No. The Gust won't be used. The fight does break out. Big arrow from Hanzo, almost shutting down Bad Betty's health pool, but the phase shift from Valimar is 2 on point, and this will be boss through top lane on the side of Storm Esports, but no one on the side of Diamond's Hands falling.
Great peel and protection, though, by Diamond Hands, particularly Aki on Hogger and Valimar with the heals, as Mei was actually in Last Right's kill range. Ooh. The damage coming in there and the healing debuff of Malthael put her so low, but he couldn't get close enough to Last Rights. Oh, Dwarf Toss already used. They're going to set up the Murden. Where's the follow-up damage, though? Avatar
form exists. Murden, Lauber trying to do his best, but Dwarf Toss comes off a cooldown. The members of Diamond Hands do pull a Avatar form out of that Murden, but Storm Esports will sneak a boss through bottom.
It's 2 really quick bosses. Did Diamond Hands knowingly give that up? It almost feels like it. Like you wouldn't just not notice that, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I think there was so much investment into the potential kill onto Lauber that there was like, oh, we'll get the kill onto him and then rotate to boss, and they'll leave boss when he dies, and Lauber lives, and it's now this awkward situation where top lane Fort sits at 5% HP, bottom lane Fort's going to be somewhere in the 20% range, and Storm Esports are setting up to get the channel to counter any sort of curse coming out against them. I like the play so far from Storm Esports going into Cursed Hollow here.
Whereas Diamond Hands is definitely slow playing this. I think they deliberately gave up 2 boss contest points in lieu of playing it slow and safe, recognizing maybe their team fight is a little bit weaker. But they have good macro with the double global. And giving up 2 bosses early means no late bosses. It means that they were able to get that second tribute. It means that they were still able to defend the bosses pretty okay since they didn't fight for it and lose it and then not have enough players. They don't fight for it, lose nobody, and then can actually defend the boss without taking too much damage. You noted how low the forts were, and this is true, but it's just a little bit of an investment towards something that hasn't paid off yet. No catapult pressure for nearly dead forts. And if they can just kind of hold strong in order to keep them erected, those forts, then it should be fine for them. As Falstad becomes the target of a potential gank in top lane.
BBJ coming up, virulent reactions available, he goes for it, but BBJ's not able to land the combo, as Funds is going to be a little too wise to that and gets the barrel roll away. Grubby, did you know Funds graduated on Friday?
I saw that.
Yeah, it's
lovely
like middle school
graduation picture. Congrats to him.
Yeah, high school's hard. Good luck out there, Funds.
Wait. No.
Just the 2 seconds.
I know he has a baby face, but no.
No, I do believe he graduated high school, but you never know. He's a young man, but 13 up on both sides. Falstad still trying to protect this fort, but look at top lane. Look at top lane. There's so much happening.
Looking. Yeah,
it's just no. I thought there was gonna be more. I thought Lauber and friends were like, oh, let's get the bird. Let's get the air version of myself. But no. It's just a Stormbolt and a disengage.
Yeah, they brought an army to... Virulent.
Stormbolt shy.
Oh, Gust wasn't necessary, but I definitely get it.
We've had this conversation before, Grubby. I feel like it was Funds hit ZR, and then it was just, there was nothing. I think so too. There's literally nothing Funds could do. When he lands, he's going to Gust regardless.
That felt like it, yes. Because... Yeah, no, definitely. You can queue things up and you can't always stop them in Hearth. So don't queue it up unless you're serious. It's a Morgana's issue. Any Morgana's player knows this, except, I guess, horrible ones, which includes me. But I know that much anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you're just being humble, Grubby. Now you're just being humble.
No. Just truthful, as this is an important tribute.
Yes.
Level 15 apiece, no one really close to level 16, and infinite stalling, not that easy for, in particular, Diamond Hands.
Yes. There's a couple little pokes here and there. You got the false hit hammering, a little bit from Bad Benny as well on the May, but we're, maybe a Brightwing. Actually, a Brightwing Dream Shot is going to be an available tool as well, but it's a bit of a stall right now. As you mentioned, there's we're treading the water before 16. A little bit of a slow soak in from both sides through this bottom lane as Tychus gets a grenade onto Funds to interrupt. We're waiting. IBT. It's so like there's so much pressure right now. It's just very the nerves. Like there's a lot of nervousness between, at least from me watching this right now.
You're nervous.
I'm nervous for the teams. I'm just like, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna be able to play into the other side? Flank. Kepi.
Flank.
Lobber takes a lot of...
Using everything on Muradin seems risky. That's a pretty cool spin. He's in position for Shockwave. It's actually planned with the Gust. They planned it. He hit the Shockwave on Stukov for all the good that did. There's a 3-man Hanzo stun. I really do think it was good coordination. That's a good Hogger spin, getting a good bunch of damage. Godfield stepping up, dodges the Stukov combo. We have Storm dropping lower, actually, than Diamond Hands is. This is very impressive play here by Diamond Hands. Mid lane, Muradin getting chased. Another good spin. And they've got the tributes. They've got the curse. What does Diamond Hands do with it? Bosses have respawned.
Top lane fort will fall to the minion waves that have already crashed onto that, so Diamond Hands know they can hard push through the mid lane together. Big knock into the wall onto Lobber. Well played in the engagement dive onto Muradin, and that Muradin being dead means there's a lot of free siege for Diamond Hands. They really can just invest into this push.
Yeah, and they finally get that Muradin kill, like you said. Avatar was no longer available. Top fort has been pushed out automatically. Grouping up during a curse is a very strong technique. There's an ice wall. Raw hit on on Hanzo. Sorry about that. The Godfield's just stepping up into core and gets a kill. Feels illegal, but apparently it isn't. Carry on, sir. Very understandable.
Got Phil doing him dirty with that chase in and staggering out of death onto onto Kepi on the Tychus as the objective phase will end. Funds. Okay, they're gonna barrel roll through and go for boss. I like this. I think it should be double boss unless maybe oh wait, hold on. Muradin's coming in.
So.
Muradin's coming in. No Tychus. This is extremely risky from Lobber and crew.
There's no Gust available. Falstad has no mana. Just auto attacks. They're trying to combo the Hogger. There's the blink. There's the last rights. Muradin jumps on the point. Who's going to come out ahead? I can't tell. Bahamut.
Daquaz ahead, no HP, ends up going down. Massive shove from BBJ will force one away. Bad Benny gonna work his way back onto the point. Blizzard will be there underneath quite a few members, and that sets up the kill onto Muradin and onto Stukov. An Ice Wall on the right-hand side will be setting up a kill onto this Hanzo. And he actually, it didn't even note it that his stacks actually, did he lose stacks at all? I honestly
he never got the stack.
Okay.
I don't think he ever got stacked.
Well, because he's at 7 right now, so don't you lose?
Yeah, what is 7 plus 3?
4?
No, 6.
Look, we're doing our custom math. We're doing our best right now. I thought there was a little icon next to Hanzo's name when he died, because I thought he loses 3 stacks regardless of being full.
Yeah, you lose 3 per death, and it just says he had any, I guess, when it shows the icon. It doesn't have to go
interesting.
from 12.
Oh, okay. All right. Misread on my end, but what is going to be read properly is going to be this boss on core with Bad Benny leading the charge and the core falling rapidly. Funds is going to be able to throw a few hammerings out. Lacerates will kill the Falstad, but the boss will kill core, and that's going to be game number 1 over to Diamond Hands. A well-played game from our blue side. That was really, really well done. I was sitting there throughout the game, and I was like, okay, Storm Esports, you're starting strong. Diamond Hands then came back, and it was a little bit of a back and forth, but that boss play, oh man, that was well controlled from Diamond Hands. That just everything they needed for that boss was perfectly done, and they didn't even actually have to use Gust. McIntyre, I got to get you back in this. Oh, please, no, Grubby. Any thoughts?
No, I was just going to say God filth, more like God filth, right? But anyway, McIntyre.
McIntyre, got filth or God filth?
Yeah, he's a bit of a 1v9er here as we're looking at his stats: 111 siege, 38k DPS, 250. Pretty good stats for a Cassia. This was a really interesting one because we saw Storm jump out the gate ahead, getting that double boss, and we're sitting there thinking, does Diamond Hands know that they're giving up bosses? But it seemed like they were just playing for the late game. They got to that bottom tribute fight, able to get the curse, and then that pick on Lauber kind of open up opportunity for them on the map. Able to run it down mid, kind of get that mid keep, but also, that's when Got Filth was activated and picked up the kill on IB Tings because the Murden was not there. And this kind of forces Storm into a weird situation because I do think that there is a world where if they do not all in that top boss to try to contest, to kind of come back into the game, that they can defend it and probably lose their keep in the process, but they would not lose the game. I think that they opted in instead to go for the kind of YOLO play, right? Like the higher variance, but like it would have been very good if they won. Would have saved their keep, kept them back in the game, and it looked winnable, right? The hammer hits, Stukov combo over the wall hits, Uki goes down, and it's like, oh, maybe we can win this. We have the Mathiel. He can sustain himself. But yeah, able to hold from the side of Diamond Hands and able to turn the fight in their favor and take this game number one pretty quick, right? Curse Hollow is one of those games that either goes super fast or is a very slow and grindy game. And I think these teams are taking the leads that they gain and really pushing them to quick victories, which is a really good thing on a map like Curse Hollow.
I feel like that's also very common on Tomb of the Spider Queen as well. Like Tomb feels one of those maps that it's ended in like 12 to 14 minutes or like 20 to 26 minutes. It's very hard shifting in that realm. We're getting ready for our next map here, and I want to actually ask, and this is where I feel like this is like mid maxing, so it's not that big of a deal. But I'm just curious, Master Assassin at level 4. Do you think that the team fights would have gone different for Storm Esports, Grubby, if it was in the rhythm or if it was anything else at level 4? Do you think that changes anything in sustained damage from Storm, or do you think it's that level 4 it's not that big of a deal when it comes to the Master Assassin?
I think it was mostly Hogger and Cassia just doing a lot of damage and getting away with it, not being able to be punished. I think the spins were really, really good, just getting like 1 or 2 full rotations through people without getting bursted. I mean, I was worried for Hager. Like, Stukov can control him really well. Murden can control him really well when he stands still in the middle of the team. What he did not do was Hordepult behind the enemy team, force a quick bursty fight, rely on the quarter or half-second wind-ups to try and put down a second loot horde. All right, can you guys stand between this wall or this webcam frame and this webcam frame, and then I'm going to stun you, and then I'm going to spin. That's what I try sometimes, and people, like, they just, they out-control you. Stukov, Murden, and so on. Tykes will minigun you. He never did that. He approached fights very front to back, really played with his team, never all in, spin through things. And then they kept creating space for each other. It was like a beautiful symphony. Someone in Diamond Hand steps up, then they go back. Now it's Hogger, go back. Now it's Cassia. And it's the first time I'm hearing like Cassia is a tank being said a lot, but it's McIntyre keeps bringing that up. And it's true, right? She's got that armor, but it's about relieving pressure from one another and stepping up. Diamond Hands did that really well. Their synergy was wonderful, and it was like 15 levels of no fighting, and suddenly they just won 2 fights in a row and ended on it.
It was really strong. Let's take a look at the next map we're going to be going to, and McIntyre, kind of same thing to you, as we're going to be looking at a Diamond Hands choice to take us to Sky Temple. Is this waltz from Diamond Hands between basically Bad Benny and Uki going to continue, or do you think Storm can kind of shut that down and kind of cut into this dance that they're doing on the side of Diamond?
Yeah, I think if the game is similar to what we just saw, actually I think Diamond Hands wins this one. Sky Temple is a map where, it's a waltz. It definitely is. There's a dance that happens, and the better your team's moving around the map, you have a much easier time, right? And I think because of that, I want to say that their advantage, this map, Storm, while they had moments of kind of excitement, there wasn't a lot of, I guess, synergy around the map, right? It always felt like they were doing the bosses well, but they weren't really pushing structure leads, right? They weren't really their team fights was Lauber jumping in and then kind of hitting Avatar, and we'll see what happens from there. Meanwhile, though, Diamond Hands, bouncing in and out, protecting each other. Again, Valmar doing a great job. I want to continue to hype him up, actually. He's really shown that supports can have a big impact on the game, and the Brightwing even banned out against him here, as well as the Falstad. Two characters that were just played for Diamond Hands, and now, out of the game. The Globals kind of being restrictive, as well as the Sylvanas Greymane banned from Diamond Hands. So this is something they just want to get out of the picture. Maybe afraid of IB Tings on the Sylvanas, but they did leave Lucio up, and it looks like it's going to be a first take Lucio from the side of Storm.
It's a strong start here, Grubby. I want to just get your thoughts on the things unfolding, maybe the map. Just what are your thoughts in this match, or what you're seeing being picked up here?
The most interesting things here are the bans, right? Lucio, sure, fine. Diabotyke, it's still really good into each other and blah, blah, blah. But banning the same thing twice in a row is a huge tell. IB Tings to Sylvanas and Kepi's Greymane. They've done it twice in a row now. Is it these two maps because they're really large and macro focused? Not sure. But then you have a Storm Esports, and they're banning the two things they just lost to, Brightwing and Falstad. It's like, none of that global stuff, please. Let's simplify things a bit. We're going to be in each other's face. So let's see if that works out for them. It's a global map, fairly similar Sky Temple to Cursed Hollow. Different in big ways, but draft-wise, usually quite similar.
It's a macro heavy based map, and part of me, and I always bring this up, and maybe people are sick of me talking about it, but I feel like Lost Vikings could have a place here with the draft so far from Diamond Hands. The Diablo engage, the hard push from Tychus, if they were to grab another hero that sieges fairly well with those three already, and then maybe like a strong healer like a Stukov potentially, Stukov hasn't been banned out, I would really like to see that. You could play into the Diablo Shadow Charge overpowered, lurking arm, sustain damage, but it's not going to be that case. Well, we could still see the Vikings. It's a stretch in my opinion, but I like this Diva. I like the Stukov here as the draft is unfolding. McIntyre.
Yep, it's kind of tough though with Tychus. I think main damage Tychus is kind of bad. He really wants some supportive cast to kind of press forward for him so that he can sit in his Odin or throw grenades or follow up with his Q. Right? If he's the
bless you,
the star of the show, he does not do near as well. And here it's two really interesting, high velocity characters with the Lucio pickup, the Vala and the Genji. I guess the direction that they're headed is just like collapsing over top of Diamond Hands. My concern is that if I'm a Genji player, let's say I'm in a nice Storm League game and I'm playing against a Diablo, I'm hitting A on Diablo and throwing my shurikens, and I'm hitting A and I'm throwing some more, and I'm hitting A and I'm throwing a couple more, and then maybe I bring out my Dragon Blade, I'm queuing, there's a hammer that's shooting me, I'm Dragon Blading, I'm hitting Diablo, I'm queuing, and then I look at their health pools and neither of them have lost any health. And at that point, I'm kind of concerned. Is there something else that will deal damage for my team? And, it could be the Vala, it could be the Hogger, but yeah, that tank pick there, the Sergeant Hammer, is super sick. Yeah, that's going to be really hard to play against, especially with those last two picks. And this is like just showcasing the draft ability of Diamond Hands and the hero flexibility. Like, this is a responsive draft pick that just chopped Storm at the legs, right? They wanted to run over top of them, and then Diamond Hands is kind of just saying, go ahead. Yeah, we're going to siege up and just kind of hold it down here. And we'll see. We're not running anywhere. We're gonna kind of stand still, and that's things that Genji and Vala do not want to play against, right? They want people to be afraid of them, and this draft is not afraid at all. So much health. There's so much health. I'm disgusted. I just need to leave. Diamond Hands wins this game. Good luck to Storm.
All right, we'll see you after the map here, McIntyre, and let's get these teams introduced as we are here into Sky Temple, map number 2 in our second best of 5 of the day. We've got Diamond Hands on the left-hand side. We got Filth on Tychus, Bad Benny playing the Diablo, Uki going to be on the Diva, Valmar playing Stukov, and Funds on the Sergeant Hammer. Over on the right-hand side, we got Storm Esports. We got a Nubarak played by Lauber, BBJ on the Lucio, IB Tings on the Genji, Dequaza playing the Hogger, and Kepi on the Vala. Grubby, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my notes and looking at this draft, and last time I missed the chance to invest and buy into the Diamond Hands roster, so I'm going to go ahead and do that this game. I do agree with McIntyre. There's a lot of threatening things. The scaling from Storm Esports is pretty good with that Vala, but I just still feel like this is this is just going to be Diamond Hands just running it down these lanes and controlling with the Sergeant Hammer Diablo.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't know if we've seen Fun's hammer before. He drops pretty low now, but he hasn't reached his most anti-diveable state yet.
Yeah.
That's level 4 with 75 physical armor from Valamar, with Unstoppable presumably. And Vala, she likes to use her superior mobility and range, but Hammer has better range. And therefore, it won't be easy to like out-trade a Hammer. That's what he does. He's like, he's good anti-dive. He's hard to out-trade. He's best actually to deal with by artillery mages. Things like Hanzo, Chromie, Asmodan can hurt Hammer from afar. And when he drops just low enough, that's when you go in with the Anubra Genji. And that hero is kind of missing right now for Storm, prepping the Hammer, as it were.
Yeah.
She can just get a nice tune-up before the fight every time. And yeah, I love it. I love it. It's a very cool pick. I also love how Hammer and Tychus work together. Tychus is like, well, I have short range, but I can burst you if you come. Hammer is like, you must come over here. It works really well together.
There's a lot of synergy being built up here for Diamond Hands, and it's going to be on the side of Storm to crack through the solid draft that Diamond Hands has. It's very, very... It just looks really good on paper. It just has to also execute as well, and that seems to be okay for now. No kills just yet. A little bit of an experience advantage over to Diamond Hands. We're just making quicker rotation. That's really going to be the big yield in that experience. Lobber will get scouted by Bad Benny, and the rotation continues up into the top lane from Sergeant Hammer and crew with a camp coming in from the Hogger. Fun's actually... Ooh, this Hogger's a little far forward in top lane, but he should be able to hog wild away unless he gets rooted or something like that. Actually gets chunked pretty hard, Grubby.
Yeah, good damage. A little bit of the bigger they are. One ambush auto attack from Hammer, and then a grenade. He drops real low. So Fun's has the ambush talent. Stay stationary for 1.5 seconds, get invisible, have that last another few seconds, be truly unseen. No more, not even the silhouette.
Yes.
So it's quite cool. Also love how D.Va's now bot lane. They're going for top with the Bruiser camp. So far, the Diamond Hands hype train is strong, as Kepi, Genji, Vala, and Ivy Genji will really have a tough time trading into this. Let's see them try to clear this Bruiser camp with the Hammer. And by the way, temples are up. No one's going for it. Lol.
Here's the big factor we've seen from week to week with this top lane camp pressure is you want to try and pre-siege the front gate with the camp, with whatever siege you have available, like the Sergeant Hammer, and then you want to be able to win the top lane objective phase. That reason being is top lane objective will shoot top lane fort front gate, and if the gate's already been whittled down by a wave, you're actually going to be prioritizing the more onto the fort structure itself, so you can actually find an entire fort through this first objective phase with a little bit of pre-pressure, and I think that's the big reason we're seeing Diamond Hands so gun-ho about being in this top lane and just really starting to siege in with that camp that was grabbed a little bit ago.
Yeah, definitely. That's why they're prioritizing this. This is the better lane. It makes solo laners have a tough time to be around the map as well, even if Hogger is a fairly safe solo laner. But yeah, good structural damage coming in here for Diamond Hands. Uki on D.Va just rotating mid. Dequaza now going to do the same thing, mid and bottom soak. Still a few shots up on the top temple. They're going to finish it off now. I think they stepped off just a second too early.
Yeah, there was actually one, and then I thought they left a little early they left a little too early once again, but not the case. It's still a little bit of an experience advantage for the side of Diamond Hands, but there's a mid wave that hasn't been caught yet, so that's kind of the consideration in all of this. Hogger will be able to grab that in just a second here. Looking at minimap, it's just going to be Siege Giant soon. Our second objective phase will be a single altar, or temple, excuse me, in the bottom lane. Maybe we see a big team fight over that. It's hard to tell here, Grubby, on Sky Temple. Some teams are just like, oh yeah, we all got to go to the point, and some teams are like, give it over, let's just hard siege or counter siege through like top or mid.
Yeah, and I think the next point will be that bottom wall. I think Diamond Hands has the tools to deal with it, to get it. Look, they're even bringing in D.Va. They're actually just going to 5-man siege with their siege camp. Bit of poke damage on the noob. I don't think they really thought they're going to kill him, but he's low enough that he can't do anything. And this is this is a hype train for Diamond Hands here. You want to jump in the voice to see how long they're going to keep up the pressure?
Let's go into Diamond Hands comms.
They just can't step into us, so just play in my range and we're good.
Yeah, I tried to zone the ball off from clearing the way. You guys hit structures.
Killing 4. I have pop. Trying to get short CD though.
They're looking now.
They're gonna go on.
Yeah, we have no
We have
pop.
10.
No, we have 10. We have 10.
No.
Keep
I don't think I'll die though. They're gonna be 10 after midway.
You just leave when they're 10.
We should back up. We should
I
be
think
happy.
we
We got
back
the tap. We got their fountain.
Yeah, that is good. We get the 4.
Tyke is mid with me. Maybe Stukov comes as well. Case can
Yeah,
is here.
I'll AFK under for it. I don't
Wait, can you
rotate.
get?
Oh,
I-
shit.
No,
Do we want to just split push then, since we don't have pay pop?
no,
I got it.
no. We fight.
Okay.
We fight them.
Yeah, I mean, I have Odin for the fight.
Yeah, I mean, if we play in my
clear
range.
here. Can mid as well. They might force boss.
I'm gonna be
I know
sure
who's
to
here.
do the
It's mid.
mechanic soon so I can play all.
They're smorking mid.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Then I'll step up bot, get some more shots in.
Are we giving mid or do we need help?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
If they go more though,
they're
Go
going
under a
top.
bruiser.
Wait, did I just?
A lot of really good planning coming out from Diamond Hands in their communication into who's rotating where, what kind of siege value you can get, and the prioritization from their team. It's great communication so far, and it's a lot of really good value we've seen on the map. The only thing I'm really confused about, Grubby, in all of that is the literal silence from Bad Benny, except for when the Apocalypse goes out, it's just, and it doesn't connect, it's just,
No. He said something.
Oh, did he?
He's
I
like,
missed it.
Tychus come with me mid. Maybe we can get someone. Maybe
Oh,
Stukov come too.
I missed that, okay.
He said a few things.
Okay.
They set that up, and interesting too to see this moment where they're smorking mid. They say about Storm with that big push. If they get more, maybe we should stop them. But then you think, Hammer doesn't rotate that fast. And where are we right now? They get a keep wall, losing a forward. Forward is worth maybe a little bit more than a keep wall, but not by much. And this is bottom keep wall. I feel like that was a good trade for Diamond Hands. They still have their bottom fort, their bottom fountain. That's something Storm wants to remedy right now. As Diva comes in, ignoring the final bruiser, it's just 1 minion. If you look at the minimap, you're like, oh my god, there's a bruiser camp. Nah, it's just 1 minion, 1 merc. And we have Diamond Hands bringing in everybody. They're so close to level 13. They can take the siege camp. What they won't do is hard force the boss just because they have a talent lead. That's way too risky.
It's a little bit of, it's not so much a pit here, Grubby, as it is just going to be a throwing pad that you could, you could give some lead over to the enemy side, but it's also...
What's the throwing pad?
It's much like a throwing pit, but instead you shouldn't be throwing on it, but somehow you still manage to do so.
Well,
It's
but
not,
is it
I
like
just
a real
invented-
thing?
No,
a throwing
I
pad?
just
Oh,
made it
you
up.
just
I just invented
okay.
it. I'm innovating here, Grubby. I'm
Something
innovating.
American. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we still have a forward advantage for Diamond Hands. As for Storm, they have yet, but actually no one's found any kills. Like no half kills even on a Diva mech. It's a 0 kill game. So who's stalling for the better late game scaling? Well, for now that's Diamond Hands because they're upper forward. Every 1-on-1 split with the temples is in favor of Diamond Hands. And I really think Storm has trouble stepping up here. Like, how do you approach this fight? You cocoon Diablo and then you jump on Hammer. She has unstoppable, 50 armor, giant pushback, Odin, armor, unstoppable, Stukov, flailing swipes. Oh, you want to stay? Diva mech, explosion. It's down to a mistake here. I think we could very well see this game end with like 3 to 5 kills tops. And just having Diamond Hands play this to perfection, to its conclusion of a victory, I would imagine right now from how it looks. But if Storm can find an angle sometime, with a shockwave, with a cocoon, with a rain of vengeance, well, anything is possible then. But it's hard to find that opportunity.
Tychus will clear out the top lane, and it's a little bit like McIntyre had talked about when we were getting into the game itself, the draft and everything, how Sky Temple's a bit of a chess-like map where you don't even have to really even fight each other. You just play the map itself, and that is the way that you can win the game. Bottom lane Temple will shoot out into Diamond Hands bottom lane keep.
By the way,
doesn't find much value.
Isn't that more like
Yeah.
Isn't that more like a Reversi? You know that game, Reversi?
Reversey?
You know that game, Microsoft Reversi? Where you keep like coloring each other's dudes by jumping over dudes?
Oh, okay. I
Because
think
in chess you do fight each other. You
Yeah.
ever played battle chess? Like, it's not a chess match.
if my brother throwing chess pieces at my face is called battle chess, yes, I played battle chess.
Okay. No, I was just thinking it's like reversey. Things keep changing color, like the camps. Yeah. And you keep jumping past each other.
It's
No deaths.
It's literally it's a bit like that.
It's literally exactly like reversey.
It's literally exactly. Okay, all right. It's literally exactly. But I'm watching this boss engagement with no 16 talent here on the side of Storm, and they
Oh, they
step
popped
in.
the mech! No diva explosion! And the boss was capped immediately by Storm! Big blunder
What?
by Diamond Hands! They forgot to pop the mech. They were just like, I'll just wait half a second more. It was too greedy.
BBJ with some slows. Genji comes in with the X strike. That will be the kill onto Valimar. The Diva goes down as well. Swift strike from Genji comes through, but the Tychus, excuse me, the Anubrak goes down. So does the Hogger. It's a 2 for 2. Boss will be defended.
Diablo came back from Souls.
Oh, you're right. 3 for 2. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Indeed. Oh my god, indeed. We're talking about reversey over here, and Storm is like, all right, we'll reverse it. Let's show you how this is exactly, literally like that game.
This I have since looked up the meaning of literally.
Okay.
And it was figuratively actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But can happen. Mistakes like this.
Figuratively, exactly. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, how many souls Diablo? He's got 30 back. Diva, by not using mech, 5 heads, still has mech explosion available. And a 1-for-1 split is ever still in the advantage of Diamond Hands. And at this point, Storm, they know that, right? Like, they know that they've lost keep wall, half of mid keep, that all they got is a little bit less than that. They're going to lose a keep over this, and probably have their final keep on 20%, like their mid keep, I think, by the time this is done. They know this is a bad trade, but they're playing for level 20 right now. They think, hey, maybe with level 20, rewind with Summer Anthem or House Party, with maybe Vala's range, so she can get a little bit of trading back on Hammer. Maybe that's where we are strong.
I'm wondering, yeah, like Farflight Quiver at level 20 would give Vala, like at max hatred and everything, like it's like I think the math is like 8.2 range or something like that, or 8.75 range. It's very, very far for a Vala, but
I think it's 8.2 something.
Okay, then it is, yeah. Because we were doing the math over my channel, and I couldn't remember. It's either 8.25 or 8.75. I couldn't remember exactly, but we were discussing it beforehand in the earlier week. It's like baseline, you get like 6.6, but the big buff is when you have full hatred. That extra, I think 30% on top of the 20% is really what starts to come in on top, come in for the Vala. And it's a slow trickle for that 20, but it is in favor for the side of Storm Esports, with Diamond Hands turtling up a little bit here, waiting for these waves to kind of crash in. I'm sorry, Valimar, what?
What?
Was he actually doing autos, or was he just auto-canceling?
No, it's auto cancel.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I wasn't looking at the health bars. I was like, wait, is Stukov? Did he just break Stukov on the stream?
Like 6 attack speed
Yeah.
on Stukov's autos.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh
Take a boss in like 4 seconds.
It's like when you play the Warcraft 3 customs and you take all the agility tomes and your character model is just attacking in infinite speed. It's very much like that.
And it's always the Blade Master or Demon Hunter.
Oh
isn't
my
it?
god, of course it is.
Oh my god. So, level 20 reach for Storm. What do they got? X-Strike upgrade, Living Weapon, Rewind. We have
Anger
Summer
Management.
Anthem, Unkillable. Anger Management and Farflight Quiver. So, okay, so he did go for that range. Let's see Kepi with that range, trying to get some poke damages in on Hammer. And multi-shot gives him rage, so that helps him a little bit in order to get that rage more easily. 4 rage when he hits 2 people with multi-shot. Needs the full 10 though. Not always easy to get those auto attacks in, especially since he's not against the Anubrak, who actually gives beetles that Vala can stack on pre-fight.
It's actually a very good point as well, yeah. I'm watching the Vala right now just to see what value they're going to be able to supply, and oh my god, does Hogger get chunked so very hard. Little micro missiles onto the enemy team as well, and this will be Bad Benny jumping onto the point to go ahead and steal away the camp that almost was, well, stolen away from the side of Diamond Hands, and a single altar will be in the top lane. I actually don't know if
It feels like a...
Yeah?
It feels like a good Odin. Like
Yes.
it's kind of early, but it is a 33-second Odin, and you still have about, what, 5 seconds or so? It's going to create a lot of space and get some of that keep. They get the Bruiser Camp, which actually helps for vision and a bit of spell armor, but the next 10 seconds or so, it's going to be instrumental. I almost feel like Diamond Hands should leave, just because they're so ahead on the map and there's a siege camp pushing, but they're not leaving. So it's basically an all-in fight now. Whoever wins this, I think wins the game.
Stukov is holding 20 right now. I'm assuming it'll be controlled chaos, but who knows? Anubrak is going to get hit with the shadow charge from the Diablo, and the level 4 from D.Va won't be triggered quick enough, so no one getting hit by that, but it is enough to zone back the enemy team. The entire altar goes over to the side of Diamond Hands. Will Storm be able to kind of, well, Diamond Hands is kind of like clumped up into a corner. Yeah, they're very cornered right now, and it feels awkward, but Diablo comes in with the Hellgate trying to dive onto BBJ. There's a Swift Strike in from Ivy Tinks, who has to back off as they get chunked as well. D.Va doing their best just to mitigate some of the damage coming in. Funds poking at the enemy team. We have bottom lane Siege Giant still coming in as well against Diamond Hands. And slowly...
I've never seen this.
This is awkward. This is beyond awkward, Grubby.
I've never seen like a team imprison the other in this top temple shot. Oh my god, Odin is back!
Odin back.
This has lasted so long.
Lauber's actually very low, and Valmar's done a great job of healing up a lot of Diamond Hand players. The bottom lane Siege Giants actually went down to the consistent catapult pressure coming out from Diamond Hand's core, so that was a nice little self-clean from the minion wave. Lauber looking to re-engage once again. This fight is just levels of awkward from both sides, Grubby.
Really fun to see this imprisonment. I thought the only prison camps were on Alterac, but they kept Diamond Hands there. But then Odin came back, and it was an moment as Storm is now pretending, selling the illusion of a boss trap, but they don't believe it anymore. They don't believe that Diamond Hands would fall for that. Diamond Hands, who has still held on strong, keeping all 3 keeps alive. Storm, who is about to lose their mid keep, which dropped to 10%, but is now being saved. And now with the next double temple, it's basically Diamond Hands with a massive advantage. One-on-one split, they get the core.
Yep.
Have Storm overcommit on temples, they can walk to the core. Have them overcommit on temples, they can take the boss. Diamond Hands has so many options, and Storm only has one. Fight right here, right now, and they're trying.
Valmar is going to just start to back off with the friendly side. Little Unstoppable onto Sergeant Hammer. She will boost away. Fun's trying to get into a better position. There is a shockwave from the Hogger as well. Flailing swipes from Valmar won't be enough. Hogger and Stukov traded out. Diablo does have full souls. Mecha Explosion will go out, zoning back the enemy team. And this is still going to be a bit of a scuffle. No one stepping up. Maybe Lauber. Oh, okay. Apocalypse was triggered, but it was canceled out by the Anubrak as Funds will go down. The living weapon was a great way to set this up. D.Va will lose her mech. Got Phil trying to back off. There's going to be that summer anthem, but Vala is starting to clean things up. Vala finding the triple kill. Diablo souls to be reset. All that is left is a lone D.Va to try and defend against this. And we were talking here, Grubby, about how Diamond Hands had to be the one to, well, make the mistake.
Fight, actually.
Yes, and they fought, and it did not go their way. Lauber turning things around. Can Diablo make an insane core defense? Nah.
Well, Bad Benny used the tornado to get a stun. Oh, Soundwave. I didn't know you could use tornado to get a stun, but great job by Storm finding their singular win condition, making it work. I think Diamond Hands overstayed. They lost their Stukov. They had the 1-for-1. Yep. They could have made it back home past the bridge, but they were loath to give up boss. I think they should have given it up. But great execution by Storm. They only had one shot. Every path, every door they opened would lead to defeat. They had been losing for most of the game, it felt like, despite getting kills. But they found that one win condition. They played it, and they won it. Wow.
Let's get Mac back in here, because I know you already have some thoughts on this game, and maybe some thoughts on that end right there. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. That map is interesting because really all you have to do once you get ahead is just play for the shrines, play to not fight, right? And I would even argue that fighting is okay against Storm if you're not doing it in your easy camp, where you don't have vision, where you're not set up, you don't have a good posture, right? Like, it is they could have sieged up the Sergeant Hammer and just in siege mode as a team walked from their base to Storm's base, and they probably would have been better off than what they took the fight there. You have to remember as well, we're in a position, Storm did a great job of controlling them, forcing fights over, and a lot of the missteps happened on that first boss, right? The first boss that they try to take. I think that's a bad place for them to be at. D.Va unable to get the bomb off, and then, you know, the collapse happens, right? The resets happen. I think Diablo got webbed up, and it kind of Storm gets their first gas back into the game. But I want to say, like, even after that, right, they still have structural lead. They can still either group, they can split. That last boss there at the end of the game, had they just let Storm do it and sent someone top and sent someone mid to get on the shrines, they would have slowly but surely taken the structures away. Even if you lose one player, right? Like, let's say they run the Lucio and friends after the D.Va in the top lane and take the D.Va out. You still can just defend as 4 in your base, right?
Yeah.
You have the structures, so the next time the shrines are up, you have more pressure. The catapults are there; they start to pressure them. Instead, they were like right there. You know, that mid keep was like 5 health. Mm-hmm. Like, these are just not having the catapults, and then playing to the bottom lane, your one lane that has katas, where Storm's at, where the boss is at, like, and then fighting in the fog of war. Oh, it's a really tough one. But I mean, again, I have to kind of, you know, hype Storm up, finding a way to win with a composition like that. That Volo, once she got Farflight Quiver, contesting the hammer in that top lane, and the grenade build from the Hogger, or the Dynamite build, sorry, just keeping them trapped in, keeping them poked out, and just constantly pressuring them. That whole top was so important because the shrine was over, so it kind of forced to the next shrine phase. Allowed Storm to kind of get their footing, and yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Really well played by Storm. Who knows where the series is headed, right?
We do not know where it's going to go, and we're going to give you a few minutes here, McIntyre, to regain the ability to find those words. We're going to take a short little break, and in that break, I encourage you all to hit ! prize pool in chat. That way you can check out the custom Matcherino page. And if you'd like to support Heroes CCL, we very much do appreciate it. Thank you all for donating and supporting Heroes CCL, because this prize pool, it does impact the final prize pool for these players. So if you'd like to go ahead and check that out, we're currently at $11,352.33. So thank you all once again for your support. We're going to take that short little break. We're going to come back and see who's going to be starting to really take this series here. Will Diamond Hands be able to hold strong, or will Storm Esports be able to, well, weather or bring a storm to Diamond Hands? We'll see you all in a few minutes. Welcome back to Heroes CCL. We are in the midst of our 4th best of 5 of week number 5 of Heroes CCL. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and McIntyre. It was a bit of a crazy game that we just saw. Storm Esports were able to, well, bring a lot of aggression to Diamond Hands on that Sky Temple game, and Diamond Hands looked like they had that game ready to go, and it was going to be a 2-0, but no, Storm Esports equalized, and we sit here 1-1 in our best of 5 series, our last one for this weekend. And Grubby, I'm loving the action that we're getting from both sides. I'm really happy we're not sitting at a 2-0 right now, even though Diamond Hands did have a very good game, number 2.
Yeah, they did, and you know, credit to Storm, but it was Diamond Hands' game to lose.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have lost it. Sky Temple has a pretty clear playbook on late game decision making, and taking a fight when you're basically up 1.5 keeps isn't it. Even if you give up boss, I think you send D.Va top, start taking the temple, maybe even Tychus mid, and then the moment that you see they're not coming for it, then you just take as many shots as you can and you go core with 2 to 3 people. If they are coming for the temple and they're not doing boss, then you only keep top temple for a few more seconds, then leave, then you posture either around mid temple while taking vision with D.Va, or you go take the boss yourself, or you go core. There's so many options, and that just felt like the worst. And it was like, it wasn't a shock either, it was like a slow death. Stukov died They killed Hager. It's 4-on-4, but you got no sustain, no healing. And then they just stood there like a deer in the headlights on the bridge. Not enough vision, 4-on-4, not good.
It was
it's a pity from Diamond Hand's side. Of course, I'm not I'm not taking anything away from Storm. They did exactly what they needed to, and many teams fail in that position.
Let's take a look at what map we're going to be heading to next. And Grubby, I just want to say the one thing I learned about Sky Temple, which was our last map, is that Diablo can apparently shadow charge into the tornadoes. That's a new mechanic for me to know about. But this will be map number 3, chosen by Storm Esports, as Diamond Hands has opted for first pick priority, and Storm has chosen to take us to the Tried, the True, the Infernal Shrines. I'm really liking this map here, McIntyre. I feel like it plays well into both teams' playstyle. Lauber likes to be aggressive, really likes to team fight. BBJ is a strong healer within just team fights as well. And on the opposing side, Bad Benny has that aggression. Ucky wants to probably infinite spin on these hoggers. What are your thoughts going into this map from these two teams' perspectives?
I think one thing that quickly stands out is Mephisto, definitely on this map for Kepi. Been one of his stronger characters, and since Diamond Hands has just been banning out the Greymane Sylvanas, I'd like to also see if that will stay kind of the course here on the Infernal Shrines, if they continue to do that. I'd argue that both of those characters are pretty good on this map as well, but there may be some that you need to be watching out for instead. Maybe the Lucio, for example. I think the Lucio gave them a lot of trouble that last game. BBJ played a really good Lucio, kind of catching them out and not taking away their confidence to posture or put themselves into a dangerous position just because they could get ran down, right? That is what the character does well. So we'll see here. I mean, Diamond Hand's already starting off a bit slower than they have in previous drafts, kind of taking their time to start off game number 3 here. And it is going to be the Greymane, so still somewhat on course. Greymane first instead of second this time, so changing the flow up a little bit. But Storm's going to be banning out the Lucio.
Diamond Hands does have first... Okay, I was going to say Diamond Hands does have first pick. They could go for the Sylvanas themselves, but no, Diamond Hands don't even want it. What is the priority for the Diamond Hands to open up the map of Inferno Shrines? I agree, Grubby. I feel like it's super, super strong. Ucky is amazing on it. It's great for the map. But we'll see. First pick onto the Tychus. Oh, that opens up things for the side of Storm to grab themselves the Hogger and the Malfurion. Expectations, Grubby, into this? I see you being very pensive in your thought.
Yeah, now that you have Malf, the Hogger is not Vala. We've seen some Vala Malf drafts get punished. But now that you have Malf, can you turn this into a deep dive, deep engagement, blow up composition? And is that something Diamond Hands likes to run? If so, they need a Nubarak or a Diablo maybe, but it looks like they're really just playing around the objective.
Mac, isn't this the same draft as last game from Diamond?
So far, yes. Maybe even pick for pick if my mind is remembering correctly. It's a first pick though, right? Instead of the last second pick. Because they were able to last pick the Sergeant Hammer last game, so they're gonna have to show kind of everything before, and Storm's gonna get that counter pick. They are gonna ban the Ana, interesting one, because that's suggesting that possibly not only do they know that the Ana can get picked, but maybe Diamond Hands is thinking about playing something like a Gul'dan or a mage type character for the map. So I like that ban, and the Mei is gonna be banned out for the side of Diamond Hands, taking it away from Storm. I'm not really sure if Lauber is a Mei player, but it is very defensive, and it does do a good job fighting over the objective. That is a main tank Blaze, and I am so jazzed about it. Blaze is OP, and we're about to see how OP he is. I'm glad that people are picking him again. It's all we're all about blazing it here, and seems like Storm is too. So
I'm not.
No, you don't like Blaze?
No, no one in the Netherlands is.
No oils, nothing.
No. Junkrat. White Man.
There it is.
Is this something Valamar is known for? Because I've never seen it.
No. I honestly, at this point, whatever Valamar picks, I actually just believe in him. He's gained my trust as a a player to just whatever support he picks. I just trust that he knows what he's doing because he picked it, and it's actually really, it's a good thing because he's gonna have to deal with a Mephisto who's gonna deal a lot of AoE damage to his team, and maybe Whitemane is the answer to that. Putting down that redemption on the Blaze bunker, doing all the damages.
That's
to heal up his team.
That's the first Whitemane in CCL.
Is it?
Yeah, I was just
in this season.
In this season,
we had it last season by Yazu.
Yeah, and that was when Lauber literally just falling sword onto Yazu's head the entire game and just won it.
Hey, I just realized Mephisto can use Shades of Mephisto to get away and then go in a bunker, and he never goes back. Like, I've always thought of Gorge mechanic to stop him, but I've never thought of an ally being able to help save him that way.
Oh, that's really cool because the return point wouldn't be triggered if you're inside the bunker. Much like, that's really interesting. All right, sorry, really quickly, McIntyre, what are your thoughts and who maybe wins this game? What's your call?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it to Storm, I think. I like the Mephisto pick. Kepi's able to get it. And we'll have to see if the Whitemane actually pops off. This is going to be really good. This is a close one for me, honestly. I hate to go either way. But I'll give it to Storm. I think it'll be a fun series no matter what.
Alrighty, thank you, McIntyre, for your words of wisdom as we are here loaded into Infernal Shrines. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Diamond Hands, Valimar on the Whitemane, Bad Benny on the Diablo, Got Filth on the Tychus, Uki on the Diva, and Fun's playing the Junkrat. On the right-hand side, we're looking at Storm Esports. We've got BBJ on the Malfurion, Lauber on the Blaze, Dayquois on the Hogger, Kepi on the Mephisto, and IB Tings will be on the Vala. Grubby, I know you have a ton of information, and you know exactly who's going to win this game, so break it on down for us.
Why you gotta put me on the spot like that, man?
I mean, I know that Storm's going to win, so that's my breakdown and analysis, but I'm sure people want the big grubby brain.
Well, then I cannot disagree with you, since you know for sure. I shall note that certainty and go along with the bandwagon. With no personal opinion at all. But I definitely believe in Kepi's Mephisto. I think it's so strong. It's also, I've also started to learn a bit about when Mephisto works. Number one rule, every time. Number two rule, works better when you're against big bodies. And Diablo, Tychus, Diva have big bodies. Whitemane and Junkrat are small in terms of collision size. I'm not talking about how they look, but the actual collision that they have in the game.
Yeah.
So with Diva and Diablo and Tychus, it's very easy to get PvP CDR resets for all his basic abilities. And if he goes Spite and he pops in a few globes from the lane now and then, he can cast a lot of spells. And how do you punish him? Well, maybe with a Riptire? Hey, what? He's stuck?
Maybe with like a Warcraft 3-esque body block, potentially, as Lauber just gets locked in by a bunch of enemy members into just, not even a corner, just against a wall.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was stuck against two, and then he stunned into Blaze, and then he had created space. Even though I thought that stuns don't push people back. That was really weird how that worked.
It must have been enough with the... I don't know. Well, I'd have to go back and look at that one.
I think what happened maybe is that when Diablo stuns Blaze into a wall, Blaze takes up less space in that wall than he would, and then he like unstuck himself with that stun as the game found a new place for him, which forced Diablo to move. Maybe that's what happened. I would have to see it again. But we do have a Spite Mephisto. It's the greediest talent. Most players are better off taking the shield, but not Kepi. Oh, nice save by Valimar. Whitemane, by the way.
Yeah, Whitemane's debut in Season 2 of CCL. We've had quite a few matches this season without a Whitemane, so it was, like, the moment I saw her, I was like, I have to check my notes, because I feel like I haven't seen a single one, and yes, this will be the first one for our Season 2. First Punisher will be frozen up in the top lane. It will be announced right now, and we'll have that up for contest in about 27 seconds. Until then, usually grabbing some... Usually it's grabbing these bruiser camps, not so much for, lane pushing, since the top lane, or the Punisher isn't top lane. It gives a little bit of experience, gives a little bit of vision in lane, and it gives a little bit of a job for the enemy team to do, and force them off the point a little bit. But Junkrat will get one more wave in bottom. Mephisto looks like he'll do the double soak to catch that wave as well. And as you noted, Grubby, it's going to be that Spite at level 4 for anyone that doesn't know. Increase Regeneration Globe healing duration by 150%. Every tick of Regeneration Globe healing activates Lord of Hatred, reducing basic ability cooldowns by 1 second.
All right, and what's cool about Whitemane is she has one of the shortest cleanses in the game. Uther, full auto attacks, gets a shorter cleanse if he gets full auto attacks all the time. Lucio has a really short cleanse, but Whitemane still only on a 45-second cooldown. That means he can cleanse Durance of Hate from Mephisto every time when he needs to and when he wants to. You can see that intercession coming in. He has it now. Wow!
Funz is living on a lot of little HP consistently here, especially up against Kepi's Mephisto. Sevens are found between both sides, and it's looking like Storm Esports are the ones who could potentially grab this first Punisher. Bad Benny comes in with a Shadow Charge. That's a root from BBJ as well. Bobber comes in with the Jet Propulsion on the left-hand side. Big Mech Explosion, but it doesn't find any damage. Mostly zones back the enemy team and steals a few Skeletal Defenders. On the note of those, we're at 35 to 27, and this is going to be Diamond Hands with the first Punisher of the game. Mephisto mounting up to rotate in to help clear this out with the Hogger tagging in for the double soak rotations.
Double trap build, Junkrat. We have Diamond Hands pushing in with the Punisher. It's nice to try and follow up on the Punisher's stun, but it definitely wouldn't be safe to do so here, as Aki already has gone to the side lane. They're looking to get about a wall, and that's it. Bad Benny with a Shadow Charge, but they will be heading back. Godfield farming 2 stacks of In the Rhythm. Nice.
Alright, also to note, we do have 12 out of the 15 stacks for New Habits and 17 stacks on the Fire at Will from Vala. Those 17 stacks currently yielding 68 damage. Keep in mind you have to add in another 235 to that as well for the scaling of the multi-shot baseline as well. But now we're getting into 10 talent tiers, Grubby, and our next Punisher phase should be a little more explosive with those heroics coming through.
Yeah, we don't know where it's going to be yet, so which fort would be priority in order to take it down. Will be really interesting to see which Whitemane ults we're going to see. Is he going to be going for the protective one or the aggressive one? The aggressive one gives practically infinite mana. Divine Reckoning. Consecrate an area, deal damage, and you get damage into mana pool, which means you can basically spam your Q. Or is it going to be the level 10 armor, 40 armor for everyone, a big heal, and it upgrades into unstoppability at level 20, which is insane. And he's going to go for that defensive one with armor, great into Durance of Hate. But guess what? It's not Durance of Hate, it's Consume Souls.
I don't know why Consume Soul.
So here's what Consume Souls usually is, I think. First of all, he thinks you're going to have 2 forms of cleanse. A short cooldown one and a level 20 cleanse. Because he's definitely going to pick that upgrade on Whitemane. You also have Lightning Breath self-cleanse. You have Odin self-cleanse. You have a Diva who can explode. There's plenty of reasons why my Durance won't work. So let's just get the other thing.
That's
it's
fair.
a long cooldown heroic that deals damage. That's fair, right? Like you're not taking something that could be weak or useless. And then what else is it? It's a 2-minute cooldown global reveal of where the enemy is. Just like Apocalypse.
There's a possibility, Grubby, of the, I think, is it level 13, or, level 16 trait from Mephisto, where you basically, if you get more regeneration glow value because now it ticks onto your heroic as well. No, it's double soak maybe, just in a world it's a possibility, but right now Bad Benny is going to get chunked.
He's going to splash auto attacks that give him CDR for basics. This heroic for him is not a factor. It's just a reveal to cover for like late game decision making. Where is everyone? I think he'll cast it out of team fight for the most part. Or indeed maybe as a finisher. It is a finisher. It's 572 damage. It's not a lot, but it's like a finisher like BFG, Sergeant Hammer. Not a great ult, but if someone thinks they can limit push themselves to low health, maybe it works out.
It's definitely a way to play off of low health pools. We're getting into our next objective phase here, Grubby. Do you want to jump into any of the comms to listen in?
Yeah, you choose.
All right, we're going to go into Storm Esports.
This is the trap on the shrine. We could give it. It's not the end of it. I mean, we're going to be 13 soon, so maybe we can get 13 and fight it. Just play range so Whitemane doesn't hit.
Wait first.
Yeah, get the globes. Get the globes.
I'll get me the wave so we can
we're 13 from bottom. You can just come right away. Youngred is kinda lowish.
Diva.
Yeah, I stun. Oh, I got rooted. It's fine now. We can zone them now.
Focus shrine.
Spin.
Yeah, Hogger's trying.
I'm taking this.
Diano,
Eva below.
They shot for me.
Diano, skill. Back.
I'm going in here. Bad bending. Bunker on the shine. Burn down the tire if we can. They're healing a lot. I don't think we get it.
Yeah, we can get
He's still low.
What?
Nice,
Okay.
nice ult, Kevin.
I didn't even press on. Like, why did you do that?
Yeah, back.
They have to clear top, kinda. So
Yeah, we got top 8.
yeah. I mean, we're scaling really
I have
good.
funds for this if somebody wants to pull. I don't
I'm
have a
pulling
fund on
it.
you though, Lauber.
It's fine, it's fine.
Oh my god.
I'll stop for 2.
We are
Getting
pushing.
back.
Good scaling, good aggression coming out from the side of Storm Esports there, but Diamond Hands are the ones who are going to be able to win out that Punisher, Grubby. Really explosive moments, but a lot of just kind of back and forth poking at each other, it feels.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see Storm's methodology. They're countering White Mane by not being too nearby. She heals best when she can get the Searing Lash on multiple targets, multiple times. With only one player playing to the front, Blaze, she doesn't get as many heals as she possibly would, and that's how Storm tries to make their poke damage from Vala and Mephisto stick. It's funny, by the way.
Yeah?
Nice ult, Kevin, Dequaz's name, as he hit the shockwave. He's like, I didn't even press R. Lying face.
I thought I heard something in the comms, and I was just like, I didn't hear that fully, so maybe I'll ask Grubby if he heard it, but thank you so much. Looking into the top lane right now, Hogger gonna hard push, but look at the gank setup in the rotation, in the shadows, if you will. Lauber's just
They're ganking the gankers.
They're trying to gank the gankers, but it's not going to be had as Junkrat takes a safe rotation into top lane and clears things out before Hogger finds much value. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Tychus and D.Va were pushing onto the fort, proxying the wave, if you will, and clearing things up before it really gets into the lane. It's kind of a, I wouldn't say a rush for 16, but it's definitely, both these teams, I think, want that talent tier. As you kept hearing Lauber say in the comms just now, we're scaling, and I think there's a threshold that Storm is expecting to really start to pop off at. Is it 16? Is it 20? I feel like the game is going to be a little more telling.
Okay, trying to think what everyone gets, right? Mephisto gets, I think Mephisto's level 16 is most important. Manticore helps Vala, but I think it's Mephisto's static field
I think you're right.
gives 10% max health damage if you get enough procs on your Lightning Nova, which should be really easy here. That's really gonna blow people the heck up. No, wait a second. He's Lightning Reaction. Okay, so he's actually focusing focused backline damage on a single target is his goal there. It's a bit of a hybrid build from him, really. Lightning Reaction, interesting. When Skull Missile explodes on contact with Nova, deal an additional 259 damage to nearby enemies. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Mephisto's 20 can be crazy too. Oh, Diablo taking a lot of damage. There's a shockwave. It's being blocked by White Mane. White Mane's healing is insane right now, keeping everybody alive with that 40 armor, with the damage equals healing. Damn, Bad Benny. He drops real low, real fast, despite having that soul shield potentially available to him if he did use it there. Has his own Firestomp build that can heal. Everything was used, except Mephisto's ult. Like, he's not casting this at all. Only when it is a finisher, and he's prepping it for the level 20 upgrade, maybe. Or maybe he just goes Mimic and just gets double Lightning Nova.
That 20 is going to be interesting from the Mephisto. I was just glancing at some of the healing numbers as we get into our third objective phase on Infernal Shrines. And actually, BBJ and Valimar are like really close in their healing numbers. It was like 36,000 to 36,000 roughly, maybe 1,000 difference, but it's still very close between these two healers. The biggest note that I had, Bad Benny on Diablo, as you were mentioning the self-healing from this Firestomp build, Bad Benny has 11,000, probably at this point 12 to 13,000 self-healing. It's so insane. Lightning Breath, Endurance of Hate, everything is going to be utilized here. Consume Soul, but the Riptire from Junkrat comes out. Mech Explosion from D.Va steals a few more of these Skeletal Defenders. And Diamond Hands are the ones going to be pushing Storm Esports out of this engagement as the Riptire is just used to get wave clear. Junkrat in top lane to grab experience. And this Punisher, what's the value gained? Fort front gate already opened up, Grubby. Good spin.
Yeah, gets to get away and pull that Punisher in. We have a Lauber flank here. Oh, wow, that's how that works? Aki interrupted the jet propulsion with his own hit the Nitrous. Mephisto doing huge damage. did already cast his ult earlier on. It was a cool flank attempt there by Blaze, but Aki just stopped that in its tracks with his own little Q there.
This is a really good push for the side of Diamond Hands. They won't find the fort, but still, a lot of good pressure into the enemy team. Blaze Jet Propulsion will not connect as Aki is able to get away with the little boost out, and top lane colliding into that fort. Mid lane, Funds will slowly, I feel like, push this out with a few frag launcher grenades, or no, okay. I was looking for the invade onto the camp, but that does not come through as it's a touch too late.
They finish it off. Aki very disciplined, not casting his mech. He was too late last game on the level 16 boss fight to press his mech, but this time he's treading that disciplined line very well, eager to preserve that pink bar. And the first mid fort has fallen. We're still 0 versus 0 in takedowns for Bahamut.
And I feel like that talks a little bit about the skill level for both of these teams. Like, there's been because there's been a ton of team fights. Like, if we actually hit the stats and everything, we got 35,000 heroic damage from the Junkrat, 32,000 on the Tychus, 46,000 on the Mephisto, and 43,000 on the Vala. There's a lot of really good damage coming in here, and it's effective damage. But the healing from Whitemane, the healing from the Malfurion has just been so on point. As that's a Commandeer Odin through bottom lane just cast, if I'm not mistaken. Really?
Really?
Why?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the shadow of it. Oh, Siege bot?
Maybe he thought they were going to get engaged upon, and they want to make use of the pre-20 to siege bot.
That'd be my best guess as well, Grubby. A little bit of poke onto this bottom lane keep. Maybe there was the Diamond Hands trying to prep for the Frozen Punisher in bottom lane, so that way it threatens keep front gate rather than a fort. But yeah, it's gonna get shut down, and that's gonna be full cooldown on the Commandeer Odin as Lauber gets just CC'd quite a bit here. Has to pop the bunker. This is going to be a Riptire that does get destroyed before it gets the explosion. We do see Whitemane ult come out as well. Kepi very low. The Concussion Mine splitting the enemy team in a favorable way for the side of Storm Esports.
I love what Whitemane can do to Mephisto. A Mephisto, when played well, feels like a Samuro. Never dies, only risk is under contribution, like you can't finish a kill. But a well-played Mephisto should almost never die, unless he's against Stitches or a Nubarak, where the Cocoon Gorge can come in. But Whitemane, although she can't kill him, she can cast an Inquisition, level 13 talent. Inquisition reduces all damage that a target deals by 50%. That's pretty legit. You cast that on Mephisto, it's a Shrink Ray, it actually spreads to a second target with that level 16. That's Mephisto and presumably Hogger or Blaze dealing half damage. The top fort has been taken out by Diamond Hands, and in order to reciprocate, Storm must move to a high priority target, which is the bottom keep wall. But very strategic positioning by Funds stops that in its tracks. So a win for Diamond Hands siege-wise, while being down on a Storm tier talent. The objective is up though.
Can we talk about Mephisto's 20? I never see Shade Lord. Activate to swap locations with Shaded Mephisto and refresh its duration. Passive, Shaded Mephisto benefits from all Mephisto level 7 talents. So, all of them. So it's not just the trickery that we have right now, it's also going to be the slow, and I forget what the other one is as well. I know there's a blue, a purple, and something. Armor. Okay, thank you. Yes. So you get armor, you get slows, which actually you can slow the enemy team with your abilities from the slow one, and then trickery value as well for the movement speed. This is really, really cool. I rarely if ever see this 20 talent.
Same. I've never seen that too. And by the way, that was an infinity spin nearly by Dequaza. You can't get one there, but it was as close to it. Yesterday I said it, you can get 8+ revolutions. He got it. Nice clear on the skeletons. Oh, there's the Durance. That's going to be a big slow, big damage. Funds takes a lot of damage. He pops himself away. Diva Explosion doing decent there, but Dequaza spins through it with Pommel, and I think that actually reduced the damage, interestingly enough.
The Punisher still sieging through this bottom lane. Lauber and friends are looking to actually play further from this keep. You can see Lauber's positioning is beyond the keep. He wants to go for some sort of play. Junkrat Concussion Mine helps out, avoid some lethal damage as Ucky takes a lot of damage, but the Scarlet Aegis comes out in time from Whitemane, and she'll be able to keep the Diva Pilot alive. Top lane keep, though, is going to be traded out on the side of Storm Esports. Top right, it's going down to the camp. And so bottom lane keep from a Punisher phase, top right keep from Storm going down to just the minion wave. I don't know who's winning in this one. I kind of feel like that's a win. It's hard to say because there's still Ford up in top lane for Diamond Hands, but Ford up in bottom lane for Storm Esports. So the lanes are kind of matched. Maybe this is a win now that we see this spawn point. I think this is a win for Diamond Hands because if Diamond Hands gets the next objective, that goes to core.
It feels like it's a win for Diamond Hands because they got the priority to be back on the map earlier. Because the minions were the one that did the job that still needed to be dealt with. They were able to therefore grab this Contra. They're getting their Odin cooldown back. They could even use Odin on bottom fort. I don't know if it's worth it. They want to rather save their own top fort, plus, not to forget, Fountain, rather than take down the bottom fort, as it is about that top objective. And there's a lot of vision play here. I think it'd be super interesting now to get into Diamond Hand comps.
Let's go into Diamond Hands right now.
He's alone here.
I'm here.
I'm just on a free tap. We can...
Cleansing. Slowing Blaze.
I got one big Quaza! Oh, I'm so bad, sorry.
Oh, you
I got
shockwave.
Just spin the
I
wave.
can help though. I'm not sure if the ult can see.
It's okay.
Good try.
I mean, we saved our forge.
He has to swap back, by the way, Mephisto, level 20.
Wait, really? What?
Yeah, yes, he always plays.
We're gonna throw a trap
We
in
wanna
this,
fight
right?
Shrine. We don't wanna use
Yeah,
it.
we don't want to fight them outside of Shrine. We have big red, and this is ending. Like.
Oh, I got him this time? Never mind. I didn't want
I really think we should just AFK until Shrine. Like.
I mean, I want to test the fountain.
Yeah. Hold the line. Might need to push out a wave bot.
Not yet.
I have no
Okay,
special.
I booped this time. I don't know if we do anything though.
It's this hold the line team, and I don't think the line is being held so much for the fort. It's being held for the well, and that kind of seemed like what they were talking about. But Storm Esports right now, it's almost like they were listening to will be able to go ahead and step forward and start to push beyond this fort, push beyond this well. And actually, that well is still up.
It's still up.
Wait,
it's still up. They
What?
didn't do it.
Why? It
That didn't go so well.
Oh, that's awkward. That's mega awkward.
Yeah, okay. They just realized and moved back into it.
They're just like, wait, I thought Blaze, you were gonna get it. Malfair and Lobber's just like, BBJ, I thought you were gonna get it. The entire time, Kepi's just like, I'm just gonna go do an objective phase. But this is gonna be 20s up for both sides. Heroics across the border.
Real slow here because he wanted to push out one more wave. Feels like a bit too much. 10 skeletons. But anyway, it's just 10 skeleton lead. Big red button comes in. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, so we have Big Red Button. We've got Diva Mech up and available for the explosion. Bad Benny looking for a lightning breath. Actually, Diablo still holding his 20. Bad Benny has not taken a 20 talent tier in 2.25 levels. Storm stepping up though. Big damage coming onto White Mane. But I believe there was actually the Consumed Soul being interrupted as Mephisto traded back. That's a lot of damage onto Diablo as he did go in to the Lord of Terror at level 20. Diablo Souls reset. He's coming back into this. A Big Red Button comes down from the Tychus as Valimar is split. Diva runs down Kepi.
White Mane's still alive?
No, Tychus goes down to the chase from Ivy Things. What is Storm doing? Oh, the big spin!
Quasar is so low. BBJ keeping him alive. White Mane survived for so long in the corner there. This very well could be game ending. It's a 4-for-1 in favor of Storm Esports. Diablo does come back with his souls. Huge victory here for Storm.
The multi-shot almost catching funds on the Junkrat. Well played, but now it's actually still objective to be grabbed with Hogger. He's going to go for an interesting spin, we'll say that much, and some pre-pressure onto the keep front gate. This is giving time for Diamond Hand members to respawn. Will this be enough of a window, or will this siege just be way too quick, Grubby?
I don't know, like they're gonna get the keep here, they're gonna get the Punisher, and then people are gonna come back with Big Red Button, but this could still be game ending. Mortar Punisher, actually top 2 when ending core, because Frozen is not gonna lock down the core anyway, so you rather just have raw damage. Arcane and Mortar do bring that.
Yep.
I don't know which one actually deals more core damage, but it's a lot either way. They're gonna try to hold by pushing down this keep. Oh, big engage from Bad Benny, real deep. Yes, Lord of Terror gets a big lifesteal from that. There's the Lightning Breath. Lightning Breath. Oh, they pop in Malfurion.
Malfurion
BBJ.
very low. He goes down to Funz's cannonballs, if I'm not mistaken, and the Punisher starting to wail away onto the core just now, and a core push that is foiled by Diamond Hands, and we make the joke, but Diamond Hands holding strong, saving their core. Not bad, not a bad play whatsoever here, Grubby. This is
very, very good. Very good. Like, Bad Benny's engage seemed real deep.
Yep.
But he has Lord of Terror that gave him 30% max health of nearby enemy heroes. And it gave him souls as well, which is kind of neat. 69 souls now. And they saved their core with just 3% damage. Malf still dead for 20 seconds, and they're not going to convert that into siege pressure. They're playing around defense. Actually, they're going to take core damage. That's double catapults. Oops. That's another 20% at least.
Catapults hit for 968 into structures, 484 baseline. So those couple shots.
It was exactly 20%.
Woo!
It was exactly 20%, just saying.
Grubby out here, the mathematician of Heroes of the Storm. So now we know if there's any math in Heroes of the Storm, just ask Grubby. No matter what, he'll always get it right, right?
Nope.
Oh. Here's something I want to set up right now and talk about. Bottom lane is Arcane Punisher next. If grabbed by the side of Storm, it threatens straight onto core without a keep kind of slowing things down.
Yes.
On the opposing side, if Diamond Hands gets this, the Punisher has to wail its way through a fort, a keep front gate, and a keep. And there's long death timers, but I feel like this is still kind of an okay spot for Storm. Like, if Storm loses this Punisher, it's not GG. You know what? But top lane's open too, so it's like maybe there is a win condition for the side of Diamond Hands if they get a massive team wipe during this objective phase.
Yes, decision making and rotations will be key, but I agree with you that Storm has enough buffer to, if all things go equal, to just defend the Punisher via bot. Keep wall is too much. So, how does Diamond Hands play this where they can somehow get out ahead? They're down 1 fort, but in the most crucial, important lane. Keep in mind that Diamond Hands has 0 vision right now. I'm looking at their vision. Yeah. They must have an idea that maybe Bruiser can. But look, isn't Tychus at risk? He's standing there, he's got vision in 2 lanes, but he could get engaged upon, you would think. But they want to delay this Bruiser for as long as possible. In fact, they'd rather... Yeah, Diamond Hands and Storm both want to take their Bruiser second so that they can clear it, then pressure.
This is just ridiculous because both teams are like, they're gonna invade onto us. No, they're gonna invade onto us. Who's gonna get invaded on? And it's neither. They're all just kind of awkwardly sitting. It's like a high school dance. Everyone's just kind of sitting against the walls, like who's gonna dance first? And it'll be no one apparently in this situation. As
imagine no one takes it.
It's just. We ignore the 2 camps and we just go to objective, and it's like, the camps will be grabbed at some point, but there it is. Both of the camps will be delayed out and pretty much picked up at the exact same time, a little earlier on the side of Diamond Hands. But now we sit here at what could be the final Punisher in this game number 3. Grubby, also to point out, we're 27 minutes into Infernal Shrines, and these Punishers, they're going to be slapping quite hard.
Yes, they will be thumping something fierce. And we have 2 to 4 in takedowns. This is not a lot. Protection has been great by both teams here. As Bad Benny is getting chunked big time. He already used Soul Shield. He's taking more and more damage, but now he will control Mephisto a bit. I believe that was his Lord of Terror. Lightning Breath. Diva. Oh, there's the big ult by Whitemane. Many things have been used already by Diamond Hands. They only have Riptire and Micro Missiles left.
Consume Soul gonna be used.
You know what? Storm didn't use anything yet. They still have Rain, Bunker, Tranquility. I think Storm is winning this fight.
Storm just used that Consume Soul, which I think you pointed out earlier, Grubby, to just get vision of the enemy team, as there's going to be a lot of damage into the Diva mech. There's going to be a root underneath. Diva should fall here. That's going to be Diablo Soul's reset as well. It's a double kill for the side of Storm, but Diablo back and ready to clear things out in the top lane. No, it's going to be...
Going core.
Going...
Top lane.
Oh, we're core rushing, boys. But Dequaza backs.
Yeah, it's there's no chance, but it's still the best chance, basically. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, the core damage is maybe all into Tychus. Funz has okay-ish damage. And Kepi comes back as well. Fun's getting chunked here. Diamond Hands needs to be careful because Vala and Malfurion are going core. This is looking like it's one of those GG checkmate moments, and it absolutely will. The members of Storm Esports will take game number 3 on Infernal Shrines through bottom lane, a 28 minutes and 38 seconds match, a hard-fought map from both sides, but it will be the members of Storm Esports taking game number 3 and putting themselves in that advantage slot. I got to get Mac back in here immediately because that was almost 29 minutes of just constant and amazing action and on Infernal Shrines.
It was a really good one. I think it's a moment that I realized like the white mane is basically like a Malfurion 2.0, right? You apply your zeal and then you use your talents to heal, and the more damage you deal, the more healing you do. It was interesting. We saw, I think, Bad Benny there in the bottom lane go so low and then like get healed back all of a sudden. And it was the level 1 talent, which I didn't know white mane talents very well, so I was kind of checking them out. Pity the Frail. It's a level 1 talent, and while it reduces the cooldown of your Inquisition every time you land your E, it also increases your healing on allies that are below 30% by 25% more. So I think their strategy was kind of like, let Bad Benny get very low, and then we'll just pump all of our healing into him, right? And we saw in that last fight, even Bad Benny's getting super low, but he's in that like 30% threshold, right? Where maybe he hits the spell shield, and now we're going to throw all our heals into him. But it was not enough to deal with Storm's damage. Kepi on that Mephisto, and the synergy between Malfurion and Mephisto, it seemed like Kepi continued to go forward and was just always full health, right? Also, bring in the fact that Innervate exists, lowering the CDs on him, as well as just him having talents to lower the CDs. He continued to bounce back and forth. It just got to a point where the Diablo couldn't do enough to pressure, right? It just seemed like they continued trying to push forward, but Kepi continued to press back, and that damage was too much, even for like the Odin. I know in the top fight, Odin was popped pretty early, got lots of autos off, continued to shoot people, but it was just not enough to deal damage to Storm with their self-sustain, just with the damage that they were putting out. I guess, at the end of the day, this game was a bit of a Kepi diff. I'm not going to lie. That Mephisto is super strong on this map. He seems to be in control of it. It was funny when Diamond Hands was like, he took that 20 talent, and everyone was like, I don't even know what that does. Let's be real. Like, he can blink back, but like, what does that mean? If he, but Kepi was using it so well, navigating the fights, making sure he doesn't get caught out of position. So yeah, really well played there from Storm, showing a draft that they're very comfortable playing on the Infernal Shrines. And Blaze is good, guys. Blaze is good. You should pick him. He's really strong.
He has the bottom 3 win rate on Heroes profile in Diamonds and Masters together. He's the 3rd worst win rate.
He's won every game he's been picked in CCL. Today
Storm League, though.
and yesterday. Yeah.
Storm League is a bigger sample size.
It's good, damn it. It may be a bigger sample size, but I don't know if it's a correct sample size. So let's get off of that topic and talk about where we're going to be heading to for next map. And it's going to be the map choice of Storm Esports, meaning that Diamond Hands has opted for first pick priority, and Storm has chosen to take us to Towers of Doom. I love this as a closing map. I hope it's not a closing map, because we could potentially have a 5th map if the members of Diamond Hands can win out this Towers of Doom game, but that's a big if right now. Storm Esports has momentum after winning 2 games in a row, a hard-fought game on Infernal Shrines, but after 27 minutes, there's a little bit of a mental game, in my opinion, that really also kind of starts to show its ugly face here, which is you just lost a almost 29-minute Infernal Shrines game that was going kind of in your favor on the side of Diamond Hands. You have to be kind of sitting there saying like, okay, look, we lost that. It's a punch to the gut, but we have to rally here. Diamond Hands needs to be able to have that. As Grubby and McIntyre, we've all talked about in past weeks, they kind of need that clown to come out in Diamond Hands to kind of rally the troops, get everyone off of that long game loss, and say, it's not over just yet. We can win Towers of Doom, we can win the next map, and we can maybe shut down Storm Esports. But they need to have that. It doesn't have to be a clowning person, but they just need to kind of have a little bit of fresh air breathed into their mental space right now. I feel
a Rocky speech, yeah.
Yes. Like we talk about this all the time, multi-game series, like how do you deal with it? Because both of you are pro players and you've experienced these ups and downs in a series, so you can approach it as it's just the next game. But I feel like there's a little bit of that, like, man, we just lost on that 29-minute game. It was good for us. So that's a hard mental space to be in for Diamond Hands. But I think they can still reel it in and still with this first pick potentially take us to that game number 5. What are you feeling here, Grubby, as we prep for this 4th map?
Well, Bahamut, let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life.
That's inspirational, Grubby. I don't feel like I've ever heard that before. Can someone in Twitch chat clip that? I think that needs to be like some sort of like CCL speech. Like, I've never heard that, but that's so crazy. That's so
It's
nice.
actually from Rocky.
No, I think Rocky's still from you there, Grubby. You said it so perfectly. It's not like you had.
But by the way, how's that inspirational?
I don't know.
If you're losing and someone is like, "Oh, life is gonna beat you," yeah, life is gonna beat your ass. I'm like, I already knew that. Like, I needed a clown.
It's not about how hard you get knocked down. It's about how hard you can get knocked down and get back up again. Grubby.
Oh,
okay.
Damn. Okay. McIntyre is the clown. That helped a lot. I feel better after the game because those games were mentally very hard. Let's hope Diamond Hand feels better too. And we got a 5th game tonight, so that we go to 9 maps today. But let's see how it goes here on Towers of Doom. Will they stay true to the Greymane Sylvanas bans? That is the big question. Or did they observe new information for this map? Oh, it's going to be the Medivh.
Okay. Maybe a worry about a kidnap comp, or maybe... Sorry, Mac, do you have any thoughts on what's unfolding?
No, I mean, I think it's a good ban on this map, right? Medivh is very, very frustrating to play against. I think IB Tings can play a very solid Medivh. So I think it's fair to ban it. Greymane, good on the map, but like not as good, right, as the maps previous that they banned it on. The same with the Sylvanas. Like, taking structures is good on Towers of Doom, do not get me wrong. But the structures can be retaken back, and a lot of the time you don't really have the space on this map because it's all kind of contained in the mid-bottom lane to like get that breakaway moment where the Sylvanas AFK autos a building. And if you do, it's like usually in the top lane, and if I'm being honest, whenever I see my opponent kind of focusing on the top lane, while I think it is a decent strategy, it doesn't really affect me on this map because it's not how you win the game. Sure, getting the camp over and over top is a problem, but if they're so focused on that, that means my team can 5-man and just run it down bottom, right? So if we get a bottom fort, then all of a sudden getting bottom shrine for them is impossible, and we're in the better position regardless of if they send pumpkins in every once in a while. But the Stitch is going to be picked up here early. Really good. The Medivh as a kind of answer to that, right? That would be why they would have banned it out so early. And the Vala
both picked
up.
I mean, Medivh and Ubrak, 2 of the main counters as believed by CCL pro players, 2 Stitches, and I think it's true. I knew that was going to happen, which means Storm should know that was going to happen as well, which means they were fine with it because they banned Sonya instead, which is interesting. Does that mean we're going to see Kharazim and then a Hard Engage tank to try and do the same thing? But there's no Cocoon this time, so you can't share that space with Stitches and prevent 7-sided blow-up. So maybe not that. I mean, this is a great map draft so far from Diamond Hands. It was very telegraphed with the Medivh and the Nubarak.
Yep, and I'd say the Brightwing too. I mean, I know we were talking about the Malfurion and the Brightwing difference. Like, Brightwing can stay safe away from the fight and then Z in to the Stitches, right? And give them all that HP with that level 1 talent. This is a great ban too. This is something you do not want to deal with as a Stitches comp, right?
Yeah.
Hooking in an Eric, even though it's funny and everyone's like, we hate Eric. We need to kill Eric. He's so swift and fast and handsome. Like, at the same time, it doesn't do anything. They play again, and you're like, oh my god, Eric's back. He's so fast. I hate him. And he's just slingshotting you, right? So I like that ban a lot. May picked up, and Hogger as well from Storm. Just going to hold their ground. I'd say Dayquaza has, in my opinion, I don't know much about Hogger. I've only played him so many games. I have watched a lot of it, and it seems like Dayquaza has a really strong Hogger out of the kind of playing field here.
He brought a new build that we've never seen before in CCL.
Oh, really?
I think we've seen maybe like 10 different... Oh, it is Karate.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. We've seen like 10 different builds from Hogger. And he brought a new one where you don't go Dynamite at level 1, but you do get it at 7 and 16.
Oh,
interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so he's
cool.
innovating.
It was very
and,
strong.
Yeah, utilizing that, right? That's cool to note too. That I didn't know.
He gets the poke, but he still gets the bonus regeneration from the level 1 inner rage. So he's effective with low CDs all the time, but gets the dynamite poke. That, albeit, doesn't heal him, but he doesn't need to because he doesn't go in as much with spins. Yep. Less RNG, more reliable.
Definitely. Yeah, just cool to know. I have noticed just his play on the character has felt really impactful. He's had, his heroics have been really timely. His hog walls have been great, right? And his pummel knockbacks have been really good as well. So I would say just seeing him on this character with this comp, they did end up going with that Karazim. Try to 7-sided the Stitches out, but the Leoric is there, right? Entomb can happen. This is something that I think will change the pace of this game. Leoric going Drain, just stepping forward. I'm going to give it to Storm. I think they're on fire right now, and that Hogger is just looking really clean. So I'll give them this game.
Alrighty, thank you as always, McIntyre, for your deep knowledge and understanding of the game and the hard carry in the cast, as we will see you after this game, as we got Diamond Hands on the left-hand side, just, dancing with their Falstad. You got Filth on the Chromie, Funds on the Falstad, Valimar on the Brightwing, Bad Benny on the Stitches, and Uki on the Yorick. On the right-hand side, we're looking at Storm Esports trying to close out this best-of-5 through Towers of Doom. BBJ on the Stukov, Lobber on the May, Kepi on the Vala, Dequaz on the Hogger, and IB Tings playing the Punchy Boy Karazim. Grubby, I'm feeling a Storm game here. I think they got that momentum, so I'm going to go with my gut on this one. What's your breakdown? What are your thoughts on these drafts?
I think it's going to be Diamond Hands this time.
Okay.
I agree that Storm rode a wonderful momentum, but they did win 2 games that were also losable, that were winnable for Diamond Hands. While that means that Storm clutched it twice, I don't think Diamond Hands is down and out at all. And they have a very clear playbook.
Ouch.
Where, first blood, by the way, to Storm. Nice catch there. They have a very clear playbook. Why do I keep saying playbook? What is that even?
Oh, are you still in your car with Kelly Blue Book or something?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a... Never mind, keep going, please.
I am from the country called Europe, okay? Remember? I don't know what that is. But they have they can play the Gorge Abduct combination, and that will pretty much work on anybody. No Hordepult, no Radiant Dash is going to get you out of that if you get polymorphed instantly. But there are some individual mistakes here. Staying out in lanes when people could be there. I mean, nice job by Storm, to be sure, but you look at the minimap, that shouldn't happen.
Bye, Dequaza.
Bye-bye.
So, I mean, little mispositioning on the side of Diamond Hands. Same could be said about Storm with that kill onto Hogger. Kepi is actually the one...
Well, that was a fight. That wasn't a catch.
I would say that too. Yeah, you're right. It's. I was looking. I was like, I mean, he spun out. He was trying to disengage, but no, I wasn't watching the full time. I was watching that Karazim dive into bottom on Chromie. So
same.
A lot happening around on the map right now, but it is going to be a bit of a back and forth. A lot more bloody than our last game, because I think the last game went to like level 20 before we even had a kill. Maybe it was like 19 to 19.
Yeah, both Sky Temple and Infernal Shrines pretty much had 0 deaths until level 16 plus. That is already different now. We also have this kind of funky, funsy double top lane by Diamond Hands, where they're putting a really big prioritization on that. And let me explain you why. The Stitches comps don't really do that well before level 10. Brightwing likewise lacks escape. And Chromie wants to wait till level 8 as well in order to get really dangerous. So just playing off top lane is saying, alright, you the bigger dog in this room, we'll just go to the other lane there and bark up that tree. We'll try to get some top fort damage. Top walls hasn't been that effective, but it's still a better thing to do than to pretend that you are allowed to rotate via this area we're looking at here at the top of our screen right now in the observer view. You cannot rotate through that with this comp against what Storm has. And, this is something that never happens in Storm League. Everyone always tries to walk through mid. The Stitches team gets blown up. has to rely on the late game. Wonderful to see it being played properly,
Wow.
fully self-aware of the kind of team that Diamond Hands is.
So far, 8 shots have rained into Diamond Hand's core. Falstad goes for a short distance flight to get into the backline, as we are going to be seeing Lauber have to pop the cryo freeze. BBJ able to back off right now, as this is a lot of damage onto Valimar, who's a little out of position. We have Ivy Tings trying to chase in. Hook, friendly hook onto Valimar will be enough to keep them safe, and Bad Bunny only has an 8-second cooldown on that hook as Kepi takes a blast of sand to the face from Chromie. A bit of a split fight. The other thing too, and I don't know if we talked about this, Grubby, was the factor of if Chromie goes into temporal loop in the draft, there was no way for Storm to really deal with that. So I wonder if this Kerosene is also a pickup to have the cleansing dash. The fight breaks out. Got Filth is the target. Not enough damage will be found from Lauber. Got Filth lives with like 90-something health as BBJ and crew are able to block Bad Benny and get the kill before the face shift from Brightwing. Is it a second kill? Funds goes down as well. Storm will find 12 shots of damage into the enemy core, or at least that's what it seems like with the double kill that was found. 1 to 4 in kills, those 4 kills in favor for Storm Esports, and yes, Storm Esports gets 12 shots in. The potential skunk has begun.
That feels pretty unheard of to get the first. I mean, I expected a 4-8 split here in favor of Storm.
Same.
But channeling that top left, that must have felt bad for Diamond, because you're going to most likely lose that mid fight. You're supposed to take your own top.
Yeah.
Where were they when the Westfold fell? Where was Gondor when the top left altar was taken? Like, Leoric still soaking. Where's Falstad? Where's Fun?
Falstad got...
Bit of a blunder.
Yeah, Falstad actually got forced away by Kepi, so there was Ivy Tings on the channel on the...
Just bring 4 people there.
It's just crazy right now, but these consistent dives and the body blocking is disgusting from the side of Storm Esports.
Great body blocks coupled with BBJ's silence. Stitch's comps do tend to struggle until level 10, but this is insane. Storm builds up a chunky XP lead, gets a lot of kills. A lot of it is mental as well, because the global value for Diamond Hands is kind of compensating for the losses they have.
BBJ!
Hot diggity damn.
That is just BBJ just doing BBJ things, and you know, you don't expect that kill to come through, but it definitely does. Ivy Tings is hearthing for mana and forcing Uki to step very far forward. The Wraith Walk will be used to disengage. Boss is going to be tagged, but it won't be actually triggered or fought over, as a single altar phase will be in bottom. Kepian got filled. Temporal loop onto... Oh no! Both of these players are just missing everything into each other. The Rain of Vengeance misses. The Storm... or the Sandblast will miss. And Kepi lives with 100 and something HP. But here comes Ivy Tings trying to bully out the enemy side. And here is that Gorge for Bad Benny as well, Grubby.
Gorge, yep, of course. Gorge, Polymorph, Gust, Entomb, Buried Alive, Temporal. A lot of isolation tools. Gotta hit the hooks, though. Nice try there. Steps into the tip of the Blizzard.
Any interrupters on?
Any interrupters?
Okay. There was an interrupt onto IB Things, I believe, from Got Filled. So I was just like,
No, he stopped. He just wanted to punch Chromie in the face.
Why?
Who doesn't?
I mean, fair. She is really difficult to play against and annoying.
The Bronze Dragonflight is who doesn't, because see their mama. Oh, nice cryo freeze block.
I do believe that still counts as the cooldown. Lauber is going to get hit with the Temporal Loop. There's a lot of damage coming into Lauber on this Mei. A huge Entomb locks in 3 members. Gus pushes a few enemies away as Kepi got hit with pulled by the Gorge. A nice Ice Wall slows things down, and Kepi and crew are trying to turn this around. Lauber very low, getting the healing pathogen from BBJ, and the hook, I believe, hit into something, but it wasn't an enemy hero.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it didn't actually.
Yeah, he still has it. Interesting save there from on Vala. I thought she was done for. It looked like Vala was going to get disgorged in the midst of 5, but then the Ice Wall came out, zoning and isolation. Nice saves. The fight goes on. You know, Kevin just left.
Yeah, Hogger
Kevin is not with the rest of the family. He's gone mid, and they actually feel confident that they can poke here against who?
This makes me extremely nervous. Yeah, the Entomb comes out, Temporal Loop onto BBJ. There's going to be Uki backing off with the Wraith Walk. Hook comes out into BBJ. The Polymorph will be there as well. Uki on the Leoric is a little bit low, but this is still Hogger double soaking, and this is still delayed. Lauber should have 1 snowball. Nope, it's a Blizzard, which is even better for zoning because it just takes longer for the trigger and everything. Still, auto attack.
This is very tilting for Diamond Hands. Very tilting for Diamond Hands.
Oh my god, there's a Gorge onto BBJ, but BBJ comes out, Kepi comes in and gets the burst damage. This is still our second objective phase, Grubby, and this is going to be 4 more shots into the Diamond Hands core, and meanwhile, Hogger was just doing Hogger things the entire time. Grabbing mid soak, grabbing top soak, grabbing a camp for top. This shouldn't happen.
Any team players? Any Hoggers? No need. Equal talents, 4v5. Not only does Storm Esports stall, but they cap. Very tilting for Diamond Hands. This is where I would exclaim, like, how can we lose a 4v5? Equal talents. Oh man, and Storm recognizing that's a giant fish slap to the face. Just sending Hogger top mid.
I would say it's worse than getting octo grabbed by a Murky. Like it's a worse fish slap than that. Is there going to be an invade into the left side camp? Oh no, sorry, the left side camp was grabbed just a second or two ago. So this Storm is literally a storm in this game. They are everywhere. They are just raining down damage and destruction.
40-0 still possible, just saying. We do have long hook coming out now. It's a meat hook that will heal Stitches.
Falstad Gust is up. Lobber trying to play to the side of this. Lobber does have Cryo Freeze to try and get... Okay, there's the Gust. Hogger gets onto the point. Leork is going to try and do damage reduction, but Leork goes down first. Ice Wall comes out, but the Falstad is split from the friendly side. Ivy Tinks gets the dash in. Kepi and crew are looking to jump into this, and Falstad's taking the enemy team on an adventure. There should be interrupt, 7-sided strike. It's going to be the Rain of Vengeance that locks them down. Great play coming out from Storm. 1-9 in kills as, hey, that's going to be a wonderful... I think there was a Gorge. Yeah, it was the Gorge setup. That's why BBJ was so far to the left over there, as you see the the cooldown timer on Hook. Or excuse me, Gorge.
Yeah.
All right, we're going Storm Comms. Wow. We got yelled at. We're going Storm Comms. Let's go.
Fine. Ooh, actually, am I fine? Yeah, I'm Giga fine. Look at this. Bam. And then bam.
And then you're entombed.
Bam.
It's fine. No 40 rune. Oh, Cappy, no.
No, okay.
40-0 team.
Okay.
Give.
That's fine though.
Just get for 13 hook.
Right 40 over, the green is over.
Yeah, 40 hook. No. This is... honestly, we lost now. It's over.
No. Run?
Yeah.
Careful Gorge.
Yeah, you can still walk up and...
Yeah, don't do that shit.
We should clear bot wave.
Yeah. I'm back soon though.
I think it goes E-build.
I kind of wish we had the reasoning to jump in earlier, because Storm is having fun, Grubby. Like, this is how my Tuesday Storm League games sound when we've been doing okay in our matches.
The 40-0 dream is dead.
I know,
GG,
yeah.
actually isn't.
It's just, I'm Gigafine, and then lol, you're entombed from his own teammate.
Yeah.
And then Kepi 1v5 casually.
Yeah. It's looking really unlikely at this point that Diamond Hands takes it back. Still possible though.
Oh, absolutely.
It would require clowning. It would require red noses and rainbow hair.
I believe McIntyre does have that get-up, but I don't think the members of Storm do. So we'll have to see if Diamond Hands can force something crazy here on Towers of Doom. I always like to say it's Towers of Doom, it's anyone's game. There's so much that can be turned around here, but after kill after kill after kill, it's looking really scary for the side of Diamond Hands, and we do see that cleansing touch come in for the Kerosene, which is a great way to mitigate the slows, some of these hooks, even potential temporal loops. But there's going to be a Gorge onto Hogger. Is he going to be able to spin out? He did get polymorph by the Brightwing. Hortipult will be used. Good disengage tool. 60-second cooldown. Altars are up. Hogger actually is on his way to the right side altar. So this will be 3 shots into the Storm Esports core. 5 damage into the side of Diamond Hands. 11 to 33 in HP as Falstead flies bottom to try and save the sappers before they go through. But Lauber and friends want to force these sappers in. Will Falstead fall? Is this going to be the push necessary? There will be the massive shove.
One sapper goes in.
One sapper over the wall. Temporal loop comes out. Got Filth not able to get the damage necessary for a kill. Hook.
Hook on Vala. 0 damage.
And zoning. Insane zoning coming out from the side of Storm with the quick rotation into bottom lane.
And not that easy to actually kill whatever hook and gorge target when the rest of Storm Esports steps up. They've got the double support safety net. They have many cleanses now. They can push someone back. Vala has the movement speed, and Mei with the ice wall and the blinds. They really need Gorge, Gust to work out, to create that distance, but not once have they been able to create that distance. There's a Gorge, and then every time, ice wall on Stitches.
Okay. The map is a little all over the place right now as Lauber's holding bottom. Dequaza trying to hold top. Leoric and Falstad pushing in, but I think I'm watching minimap specifically because there's a Karazim and Vala flank coming in at the top lane. If we can jump up there, because it's the Falstad targeting, or maybe it's actually the target onto Leoric here. What I do have to
Well, he's zoned, right?
Yeah.
Like, he stopped the rotators, the gankers. He warned funds, and he puts a bit of slows on Vala. So, yeah, just kind of farm damage on him and Falstad back up top.
So triple altar coming up next, Grubby. If all 3 altars are channeled by Storm, this will be GG over to Storm, but this is a difficult triple altar to do that in, and I don't think they're going to be able to make the same play happen like we saw in the first round. So I'm expecting this to be right side to go over, left side to be traded out, and then bottom lane to be the big team fight. As I said, not game ending. Oh, that's huge! That's mega ultra massive.
Yep, let's see if they can get the Vala kill this time. I mean, the polymorph felt late. Was it late? There's a time trap. Double loop on Vala, back to the start.
Okay.
And they get the kill. The first time, basically, the combo worked, and only because of double temporal loop. Oh, there's a hook on Stukov. Hey!
Good double
That's
hook
neat.
kill, and that is going to be shots. Oh, yeah.
Diamond Hands needs the shots. They need to be greedy here. They want to get bottom fort first, channel 5 shots. Meanwhile, they want to zone the boss and take the boss to remove that threat from themselves. It's a pretty tall order. They're also grabbing sappers.
Yeah, Chromie actually starts to back off as there was the threat from the. Thank God for sidewalls, but that's why the chat. That's why you take those down, not because they provide vision. No, you take them out because then your Stitches can't hook over the wall. But boss could be a target. I think Falston might have shown in the way that they were rotating.
Boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You have to take boss, but the fact is that they made a call to do bottom fort, then channel, and then changed their mind, had sappers wasted. That is not looking super ideal for Diamond Hands. They just decided, at least they managed to give it up and be like, all right, never mind. Just take the 4 shots, play it safe. We're not completely down and out. We can still survive a single altar phase. We deny the boss. We get plenty of hook chances. I think that's a good recovery from a very ambitious plan, executed in a very fragmented manner. So, all right, props to Diamond Hands. Now, Storm, they just need to restabilize, get back to 20. They got hooked a couple of times, but it's like 2 death hooks after surviving like 15 to 20.
Exactly.
And Storm still has that leeway to play with.
Look at these ultra safe rotations, though. You just this is not the common way that you see teams rotating, especially in CCL, in the death zone, because it's just. If you're rotating out in front of your gates, that's a place for Stitches to land a hook. So it's just kind of waiting around right now. Also kind of rotating and not clumping, but grouping sort of. So that way if there is a hook from Stitches, there's a little bit of counterplay. Hook does come out. There's the Karazim. He's going to be the target. Blizzard, nice wind tunnel from the Falstad. Entomb with the Buried Alive will be coming through. Somehow, some way the 7-sided strike goes out. Hortipult in from the Hogger. He's going to hog wild around. Kepi taking so much damage, he needs to back off. Leoric looking for the chase. Will be be able to get the last little bit of damage. Falstad flies into the aggressive position. Caltrops come out from Kepi. This is so much counter damage. Falstad goes down to the massive shove into the death zone. Meanwhile, Polymorph Lauber is going to cryo freeze to buy a little bit of time. Hooky comes in with the Leoric with the Wraith Walk damage reduction as well. Lauber takes a lot of damage, has to back off. Hook onto BBJ. He's trying to back off right now. Gorge is not available. The snipes from Valimar, excuse me, the snipes from Got Filth on this Chromie are too good. Another hook from the Master Hooker, and we are seeing a triple kill over to the side of Diamond Hands. This is what they needed to recover with here, Grubby.
Yeah, I totally dig and get that Falstad fly in. They want to secure the Vala kill. There's another 4 shots. Again, in a very ungreedy manner. I mean, come on, you're 4 versus 2. Why are you so afraid? Just grab the 4 and get another shot. You'd have them down to 16. Nice even number, but a very, very scared early cap. Even though bottom fort was totally within their reach. Cool fight though. They got that Karazim Gorge. Missed some of their abilities though on the 7-sided. They forgot its Transgression 11-sided strike. So everyone was early with their follow-up after he came out of the 7-sided. Still worked out.
Good flank Gust as there's the Entomb. Ice Wall buys a little bit of time, but this is a lot of damage still going on to the Hogger. Hook onto Karazim.
Oh, the hook on Karazim too. Great hook right in front of the minions.
Temporal loop out from Chromie. Kepi comes in with a lot of damage. Funds is going to be very low on this Falstad. Does get a blink heal from the Brightwing. That's the Invisible Friends. Lauber coming in, trying to find the last little bit of damage onto this Falstad. That goes down. Ivy Ting's on this. Karazim is trying to make something happen, but he gets picked up. Virulent reaction. Kepi dumping in damage into Bad Benny. Lauber's able to live because of the massive shove. Some sappers, I believe, went over a wall in I believe in bottom lane because that was 17 HP, now 14. And we have a double altar phase. This is Grubby, this is spiraling out of control for Storm Esports. Diamond Hands have regained this map.
The 40-0 dream is dead.
Maybe the map too.
But another dream could also be dead. I'm too shy to go back into the comps again. No, I don't want to do it to them.
No.
This is just a sick game. Let's focus. Let's focus on the process as Diamond Hands seems to be doing the impossible with Leoric there in complete invisibility. Nice hook attempt. Didn't quite get it. There's going to be a channel by Brightwing. Karazim is still dead. Diamond Hand, just like little Ariel, once more. They got, just straight up gorging the Hogger.
This is insane.
And a Stukov is silenced? He's dead too?
This is insanity, the way that engagement was played. Lauber just got chain CC'd and he couldn't do anything. The friendly team was just too far behind. Dequaza trying to come in to make something happen. Your fight in from Falstad will be the damage necessary. I was looking at boss timer. It's 40-some seconds as this is a single altar that won't end the game but will put the members of Diamond Hands into a game-winning position as that is the Vala going down. The wind tunnel on to Ivy Tings. He's got no target to go to. He goes down. Pentakill over to the side of Diamond Hands, and we're going to get into their comms right now.
Shit, I was running it.
We were sprinting at you, and you actually we were sprinting.
I was so irritated because I felt like what they were doing was so bad. They kept dying to it.
We sprinted it a bit.
They thought they were gonna get the 40-0, but...
Like,
Heal me, I'm dying.
One more game, boys. One more game, though.
Fuck me.
What map do we pick though? Is it Battlefield or Garden?
As we jump out of those comms, we just wanted to hear how they were celebrating this massive turn of events here, Grubby, because that right there is the reason I love Towers of Doom. Even though a team came in, was just dominating the entire game right there, a team like Diamond Hands can still hold strong and turn things around and take us to that game number 5. I got to get Mac back in this one because I got to know what your thoughts are after watching the series of events we saw.
40-0 Dream, dead.
Ouch.
Storm, not Gigafine. Yeah, it just seems like there was not enough pressure in the early game at least from the Chromie Falstad. But yeah, Master Hooker level 20 engaged. The change of pace completely shifted once the hook downs came online. And it just seemed like, while they were joking and while their kind of Storm was holding the momentum of the series, it actually was, those deaths were pretty costly. They extended the game to level 20, and that's kind of what I guess got Diamond Hands back into the game, right? The scaling happened. It was like stagger after stagger after stagger, exactly what Complet Stitches wants to do, and to be able to just execute that properly, gave them the lead, the advantage, and here we are going to game number 5.
Grubby was so disgusted with the turn of events, he's just like, I gotta leave. So Grubby's gonna get out of here. And you know what? We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna take a short little break, and we're gonna be right back with game number 5 in Heroes CCL. This is absolute insanity. Really quickly, hit exclamation point prize pool in chat to get yourself over to the custom match arena page. Thank you so much for over $11,000 donated towards that prize pool. But as I said, we're gonna go to a quick little break here. We're gonna get ready for game number 5, our final map of the day. Will Storm Esports be able to turn it around, or will Diamond Hands turn it around once again? This is Heroes CCL. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Heroes CCL. We had to take a little break to get Mac back and get the clown out of here, as well as Grubby had to do a little bit of a headset change just to change it up for you all at home. I know some of you are really, really into what Grubby headset he's wearing, so today he's got a little white one to finish out our best of 5 series with. And here's the crazy thing. We're going to a game number 5 today. We have had so many game 5s this weekend. We literally, out of the 4 best of 3s we're looking at, this is the 3rd one to go to a game number 5. So I'm super ecstatic. We've had so much good Heroes of the Storm action this weekend. And I don't know about you two, but I am ready to go into our next map. How are you feeling about this, Mac?
Yeah, I mean, this series couldn't be more exciting. It's been a very bumpy roller coaster ride of, ups and downs, maybe a few lefts and rights, a couple turns, corkscrews here and there. But yeah, we're getting towards possibly the end of the ride, and there's no telling what they'll have planned for us. It looks like we will be going to Battlefield of Eternity, the 2-lane map, everyone's favorite. It is going to be picked by Diamond Hands there. This is a map where things can get a little crazy, right? It's where the strategy really comes into play, and it's like, I don't want to say draft diff is super important on this map, but if a draft doesn't have an answer or something to be proactive about, you can kind of feel stranded on this map. So I don't know. At this point, these teams have both drafted so correctly, and they're both playing really well that it's hard to even judge where we'll go. I'm excited that this is the map to decide it all.
It's a really fun map. As you mentioned, it's a 2-lane map. It's really, there's a lot of back and forth and engagements. The one thing that I'm excited to see is the aggression levels. Diamond Hands is coming off of a win after almost getting 40-0'd. It was like 16 core HP to like 40 when that actual transition started to happen in Towers of Doom. An amazing back and forth matchup. So Diamond Hands riding that energy, that high, if you will. Storm Esports, they don't seem like a team that would get beaten down by a loss like that, but it still hurts. It still hurts to be that far ahead on Towers of Doom and then have the enemy team just shut you down as hard as they did. And the one thing I wanted to ask both of you, Grubby, was it the 13 talent here? Was it 16, or was it that Master Hooker level 20 that really spiraled the game over to Diamond Hands on Towers of Doom?
I think it all came down to a rotation from Storm going from top to mid. I don't know exactly which level it was. I like to think it was level 18 when Karazim and someone else were rotating to mid and they hooked, gorged Karazim. You would imagine if you see the hook coming, you cleanse your ally. Wait, it doesn't cleanse yourself. Okay, no. So Karazim remains a valid target. Yeah. So you would just that hook gorge at level 18 that started turning things around. As we have a little bug here, we'll try to get that fixed. Hopefully, no big problem with any players having issues, but they always have 10 minutes if they need a pause. But that gorge started things, and he's had level 13 hook for a while, but it didn't lead to kills. Because it wasn't scary yet. People weren't stressed yet, losing focus, starting to get worried about things left and right. But as people lose concentration, which always happens over a game that goes more than 15 minutes, it's just how well do you handle that? It's the way the human mind works. Like it's not going to be as clean as the first 10 minutes. That's where suddenly these hooks can start flying. Rotations get more complex. People are in surprising places. Diamond Hands is under the gun. They're under pressure, but they're actually shining there under that pressure, as a Diamond would. And Storm not able to stop the mayhem, the chaos, the fiesta, basically, and stabilize and find that Sky Temple-esque macro solution to being so far ahead in the macro. It was like, oh, we'll just split this. Like, that suddenly never happened. You think you've got this big advantage, and it's just trickling away, frustrating hook after frustrating hook. Yeah, Master Hooker plays a big part in that as well at level 20+.
We've made our way into Battlefield of Eternity, our final map of the day, our final series of the day, and this will determine, well, who's going to be coming out on top. It's 2-2 as we're entering into the Battlefield of Eternity draft with Diamond Hands going back to their tried and true bans onto the Sylvanas. I'm assuming a Greymane. Will there be a Lucio ban? There's a lot of things to consider going into Battlefield, as there already will be the Cassia ban from Storm Esports. God, this matchup is exciting. This matchup is really exciting because Storm Esports could end with a record of 4-1, or Diamond Hands could be looking at a record of 3-2, which would be equal to Storm, but there might be some map diff that actually pushes Diamond Hands above Storm in our rankings. So that's the most exciting thing for me, is really what comes out of this matchup and how does it affect our standings, because these two teams, if memory serves me right, sit at the 3rd and 4th place spots, and that could shift very quickly today as we get into our last ban. The Greymane, I'm assuming, from the side of Diamond Hands. Yeah.
There it is.
So
hey,
now,
I like that. They're sticking to their guns. I mean, I respect it. The only thing I don't respect about it is that they let Lucio through. And, Storm actually banned the Stuke off and said, yo, are you going to ban Lucio? Or, what's up? And they were like, this is what we practice for. This is what we plan for. So we're gonna still do it. Picking up the Malfurion and the Yrel, early Yrel on a map like this, but possibly portraying that they want to go sort of protect the X comp, right? Yrel's obviously a very strong character in general.
It was first banned actually in our earlier series today.
Oh. Yrel was?
On this map, yeah. Apparently super high prio, as I guess it's easy to knock several people into Immo stun.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. And just the, I guess, ability to be super safe in the off lane. She's also a character that just one-shots waves really quickly, right? And can get right back. So I guess I can see the effectiveness of that. Also just, protecting. We always talk about controlling space in the middle, and she's a great character, control space, especially with a Hammer Talent at 7. Just keeping it wound up and ready to rock whenever you need to knock someone away or into a stun or your team. So definitely into it. Tychus Hogger response there from Storm, and we do have a Muradin ban and a Diablo ban. So target bans on tanks makes a lot of sense. Tanks have not been selected yet. Let's see which way Diamond Hands chooses to go.
I like the Yrel for the defense, for anyone that's trying to step up, and the knockback. Hogger can supply something like that with a devastating blow as well. Next two picks, though, coming out, they're really interesting for the side of Diamond Hands, as they still need race potential on the Immortal. Things like Hanzo are up and available, but Azul Jin? Yeah, what? Grubby, I'm right there with you, Grubby. I looked over at your face and I'm like, that's the exact same face I'm feeling. That's
double
risky.
Support Suljin is saying you don't take double support because we'll outscale you. And Uther is the only one that Storm could have taken as double support for it to make sense, because I don't think Hogger Tychus are happy with double support. So you've got double support against guaranteed not double support. You've got the anti-burst, which is what Triple Assassin could do to you. And you have Uther to defend against that. Yrel to mitigate damage at level 13. It feels... Whoa!
Oh my.
It feels really smart what Diamond Hands did here.
It is
good flow, but
yeah, they draft the squirrel, right? Like the Genji, the squirrel as I would call it. Very hard to catch. Kind of runs away, steals some things, some health from your Immortal, and then runs away, right? Scurries away. It's very hard to catch him. And Storm has no characters that deal with this Genji actually. So if for whatever reason Diamond Hands decides to posture as 4. We talked about the Yrel protecting something. There's the package, right? PSD underwear also protect packages very well. But yeah, it's in this case, they're protecting the Zul'jin while the Genji runs around the map and kind of puts pressure on the Immortal. And then once they step in and overcommit to that Zul'jin, Genji might pop off with a D-Blade, was that D-Shield? Ooh, the double D. I like that. Yeah, and just blow them up. So I'm going to give this to Diamond Hands. I don't know, is it to the moon or into the dirt? We'll have to see.
We're definitely going to have to see. Thank you, McIntyre, for the breakdown and your thoughts on this game, as we are going to be seeing... Bless you, Diamond Hands. Bless you, Diamond Hands. Diamond Hands on the toy mounted train as a group. We got Uki on the Yrel, Valimar on the Malfurion, Bedbenning on the Uther, Got Filth on the Genji, and Funds on the bad guy Zul'jin. Over on the side of Storm, Esports in the red, we got Lauber on the Mei, BBJ on the Lucio, Ivy Tinks will be on the Tychus, Dekaz on the Hogger, and Kepi on the Hanzo. Oh, they broke the... oh, no, they're all on their own individual trains, I see. And Uther on Pleb Horse. Unfortunate. But Grubby, I'm actually leaning... You know what? I'm just gonna... I'm gonna throw a dart at a board and say it's gonna be a Storm Esports win. That's my breakdown analysis. Yeah,
you rebel.
What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking Diamond Hands. Genji...
Okay.
Cannot get stunned by anything except Hanzo Arrow. Or maybe Lucio's level 13. Ooh, maybe. Instead of picking up slip, bonus movement speed when you pass through people, enemy people on walls. Nice kill. Hammer of Justice. Genji deflect. Great kill there. First blood. But yeah, I think Genji's nearly uncatchable. It's Hanzo Arrow and Lucio's level 13 stun, if anything. Blizzard is too slow to deal with it. Staggering blow can happen, but it's down to Genji's positioning, so he feels kind of free. Then the next question is, can you take down anyone as a Genji? Are there any deletable targets? And I think yes. I think Hanzo is a big target for him. As we need a little bit of a break here from the production side. Hopefully he can fix that soon, fixing a little bug. It feels safe for Genji, it feels valid for Genji, and then you have hyper support Zul'jin, and then the unkillable Yrel on the side lane. Like, I think it's a god draft, and I've not seen it before, which is super cool because you're bringing out something strong, surprisingly, something that Storm couldn't have prepared for.
Sorry, one of the admins are asking for a little bit of help. We're getting something figured out on the production side, so that should be hopefully the fix right there. We're just going to get that fixed up so that way everyone can see everything properly and provide you a good, clean observation in this game. And I'm just double checking that they're not messaging. Oh, no, hey, we got the countdown coming in, so we're ready to go. We're back on into the game. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so Grubby, I missed this a little bit. I'm very sorry, but...
Nope.
Do you have do you lean which one way or the other?
I'm glad you were able to help there, Baha, man of many talents. I think Diamond Hands has everything they need. It's a strong draft, which is also surprising. I don't think Storm saw it coming, which makes it doubly dangerous. Now the execution still has to be on point.
So we have everything fixed here. You know, I saw that kill from Got Filth onto the Genji, or onto the, I think the Hanzo. Can I change my bet? Is it too late? Am I allowed to do that?
Well, no. On the other hand, this is a strong push by Storm, right? The split has been weird so far. It was Uther Malf double bot for a bit, which is definitely not an optimal way to play double support. Genji, as predicted, does feel very free. Got Filth living wherever he wants to on the map. Yeah, so nice wall destruction there. Can they get Dekaz is the question. Spin is finished, but no, they can't get him. And in return, all Diamond Hands got was almost a tower bot.
I think the early game is going to be a lot of just this soft siege, as you will, into some of these gates when allowed, when you can find a slight momentum advantage with maybe a kill onto a Hanzo or something like that. Once again, to note, Hanzo did go into Redemption at level 1, and the big thing for me actually is going to be Funds on the Bone Slicer, not going to be going Recklessness, and so the scaling from Funds might be a little bit slower. We'll have to see in comparison. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, like said before, Bone Slicer is the best level 1 talent. The scaling is slower, but you start higher, so you're just playing less of a high-risk, high-reward game. This is also best on the Immortal. Bad Penny goes down. Big minigun there by Tychus, getting free shots into Uther because he got locked down by the Blizzard. But yeah, this is the best early game Zul'jin build. It's good into the Immortal. I support it.
Oh, top lane fort, and Zul'jin should go down, so that means the top lane fort is going to take significant damage from the Fallen Shaman camp that is up there, and actually, The Hogger, Dayquaza, if I'm not mistaken, goes up there to continue to push things out, zone back enemy members. May's up there as well. Can we actually jump into the top lane really quickly? I want to see what's actually happening with this. As Urel is trying to force back Lauber and Dayquaza, and the fort should fall. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, BBJ on the Lucio was able to clear out that camp, and during all of that, there's still the Immortal phase that half of it was won by IB Tings and Kepi. This is the members of Storm spreading themselves thin, but managing to cover everything they need to with the amount of jam they can use.
Can I change my bet?
Sure. Absolutely.
I changed my bet.
All right, cool, awesome. I'm gonna change my bet back. Actually, I'm gonna go back over to Storm.
I didn't say that was allowed.
Oh dang it! Okay, so only one change per game. I now know. The fight though will break out around this Immortal phase here. Grubby, Ucky trying to jump into the backline, but Lauber, Dayquaza doing the exact same thing, and Hanzo goes down once again to the dive, the burst, the availability of Got Filth's momentum and mobility.
There's another kill there. That's 2 for 2 now, but still... Oh my god, that was really close actually. Zul'jin dropped himself to an inch of his life in order to raise the Immortal. It's actually incredible that that nearly worked. 450 health. Can you imagine if Zul'jin got 3 more auto attacks on anybody in this game? He might have actually made it with the amount of auto attacks he got into that Immortal. So a very near... almost defense by Diamond Hands. They are still down a fort though, and they're gonna actually live here to do a 3v5 advanced zoning technique. That seems risky. Palomar goes down, but it does buy time for Funds to chunk down the Immortal without anyone intervening.
With the kill into Malfurion, though, I wonder if Storm is not satisfied with just a fort front gate. Oh my god, funds his health after the grenade from IB Tings. So we had the fort go down in the top lane during the objective phase. Genji dives out onto IB Tings trying to get the Deflect Valley because they did go for that level 7 augmented guard. When Deflect ends, Genji gains a shield equal to 100% of the damage blocked for 4 seconds. Allows Genji to play into the backline really aggressive. I was just about to note it, Grubby. That was so well played. Dayquaza gets a big staggering blow. Lauber comes in with the icing to slow down Bad Benny. Stun from Bad Benny just to slow down the enemy team aggressing. Dayquaza comes back in, and this is just going to be a bit of aggression into each other. No extra kills found. 2 to 3 in kills all in all. 8 to 8 in our levels.
All right. Genji's engages have looked good, but I underestimated how much Storm would be able to put macro pressure with their Lucio, who controls rotations, with Hager's pressure, with Tychus and Hanzo's damage. And they have been playing, until now, Storm has been playing against double support very well when you have that quick enabler Lucio single support. But as the game removes the outer frontiers of defenses, that may become less and less relevant. As Battlefield of Eternity, there's always the great equalizer of team phase. Oh, the Hammer of Justice, the hammer had been raised. BBJ with a bit of Genji lookalike tactics.
That was the one thing I was actually considering right there when we were watching that happen. I was like, okay, BBJ, you got movement speed, blah blah blah. You got the push off. Genji has a lot of movement speed ability as well as funds. The damage over time. What killed him?
The damage over time of the grenade.
Okay.
The melting point.
Big arrow, massive arrow, humongous arrow, perfectly timed out with the ice wall.
There was a cleanse on Genji to save him from it, but Malf was not so lucky. Ah, God, Storm Esports just carving out huge advantages and are starting to work on the Immortal already.
Half of the Immortal phase should go down in favor for Storm Esports, and this is looking not awkward, not awful. It's not GG go next, but it's
not
looking...
cringe by any means or anything like that.
It's just a little bit of, wait for 10s and try to turn things around. Maybe Bad Benny goes into Divine Shield with a Dragon Blade. As McIntyre was mentioning, you got the Divine Dragon Blade. Swift Strike in from Got Filth. We have a bit of a staggering blow from Dayquaza to force back the Uther, but this is just it's a hard spot to be in for Diamond Hands, I feel.
There is D-Shield Dragon Blade, the double D McIntyre is so fond of. A push into the Blizzard. Okay, trying to get away from the Dynamite there. Dayquaza's new Hager build. Getting multiple hits again there with the Dynamite. It's Sound Barrier. That's always been a counter to Dragon Blade.
True.
Fun to see it come back again.
I actually really like that pickup as well. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking, I was like, what high five's so good? Well, sound barrier is a great way to just mitigate. Like, Genji screams at the enemy team, pulls out his sword, and, well, BBJ just sound barriers, and this is... Well, you just saw it, everybody. Big arrow onto Funz, who gets the cleanse in time, so it's just damage into Funz.
Just damage.
Which is healed
goes
up.
in again.
Ivy Tings is low, so is Uki.
Shockwave!
Big shockwave. But nothing else.
Good Twilight Dream for the disengage there. Diamond Hands should have good sustain here with the double heal. And they're really living on the edge, because they still need to chunk through 10,000 HP on the Immortal. 9,000. Can I get an 8,000, Bahamut?
8,000, 8,000. Can we get a 7,000, 7,000, 7,000? I was never good at auctioneering. That's why I never took off as a career for me. So
got the voice for it.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll work hard at it. I'll work hard at it. But Uki dives into the backline onto Kepi, who gets the agility over the wall. Funz is going to be very low, gets it with a scatter here and there. Ivy Tings with the Commandeer Odin chunking into Funz if he can find the damage, and that will be the damage necessary into this Soul Jin in the objective phase, only sitting at 1,445 health. Can I get an 800, 800, 800? Can I get a 400, 400? And we got 0 HP onto the Immortal phase.
Sold.
Big arrow onto Got Filled, but a cleanse comes through. Cleanse comes through from Valimar.
So Soul Jin has been doing loads of damage on the Immortal, but it's tough for him to actually find damage into Mei with the blinds, into the backline Odin and Hanzo, despite having Uther and Malfurion on his team. Storm in the lead, but don't forget they were in the lead on Towers of Doom as well, though they would have the shame red on their cheeks after losing that game and would likely play this more safely.
There's a flank from Uki. There's Got Filled kind of waiting in the shadows, almost to say. And just Bad Benny's getting split as well. This is a lot of fight happening here. Big shockwave from the Hogger as the grenade connects once again. I gotta say, Ivy Tings is just sniping with these grenades left and right throughout this map. As Got Filled has to back off, the keep front gate goes down, and the keep is being put... the keep is taking a lot of damage, as this is going to kill onto Urel as well. The keep should fall. This shouldn't be game, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a keep unless they get like... No, even if they get like 2 more kills, it's still not a core. Storm is looking to play this safely. They do not want a repeat of the Towers of Doom fiesta that happened. Should be noted, by the way, that I think Bad Benny died deliberately there, not casting D-Shield on himself, preferring to save that cooldown, which I think was a wrong decision. I think if you save it, you're still 5 people, you can actually defend that Immortal without losing the keep. But I don't know. He decided to hold on to it. Maybe he was hoping he could survive long enough, not thinking of the Tychus grenade over and over by Ivy Tings, so that he could cast it on the Genji Dragonblade. But as it stands, Storm Esports is running away with this game.
Grubby, I'm blanking on 13s for Tychus. How often do we see Spray and Pray? Because I actually love this as the adaptation.
Fairly often.
Overkill slows enemy movement speed by 25%, and its range is increased by 25%. So I like this for the sustained setup. You got Lucio to be able to jump in and has the push-off slows. You got Mei slows, Hogger sustainability, Hanzo then able to dump in damage and all of this, as well as Tychus able to step up. I really like that. I don't feel like I see it crazy often, so it's just one of those nice adaptations from Ivy Tings.
Yeah, we see it fairly often in CCL. People usually like to get the lifesteal on Storm League. Armor, most people don't take it. But yeah, the overkill build, the grenade overkill build, pioneered a while ago, and it is just safe damage, especially once you get the bonus range at level 16. Oh wait, is this the bonus range?
It is.
Yeah, this is the bonus range, and then at 16 you get extra damage. It's quite a strong damage tool, but let's see if Diamond Hands is able to turn this around. The map is just red. It's bleeding red towards Diamond Hands' side.
And there's a 4,000 HP difference in that race right there. While the bars look kind of close, that was just Ivy Tings and crew dumping in damage. Uki comes in for the flank on the Urel. There's going to be a Genji dive in as well. The roots from Malfurion just to zone back the enemy team, maybe even catch someone with that Emerald Dreams at level 1. 16 talents here looming in favor for the side of Storm, and I think Diamond Hands knows this. They want to make a play happen before that. Ivy Tinks is getting very low. The Genji is going to be low as well. Sound Barrier from the Lucio. Kepi throws in a big arrow. There's a Divine Shield from the Uther as well. Bad Benny so very low on this Uther. Meanwhile, Zul'jin on the left-hand side gets hit with an Ice Wall. Oh no, the toss Dingo, but there's no counterplay from the Zul'jin. The camp in bottom lane has arrived. Kepi finds the outplay into his brother Genji. Urel gets the Goomba Stomp. There's going to be a kill onto Uther. Uki and Valimar are going to try and make something happen here. This is a very low Tychus who gets slammed as well. The core bottom lane, or excuse me, the bottom lane Impaler camp is cleared out. Lauber comes in. Valimar fairly split as well, and Valimar goes down. Uki gets hit by the staggering blow. Uki will use Ardent Defender to buy a little bit of time, jump over the wall. The spin isn't enough, and they don't care on the side of Storm. They want the Immortal phase before the enemy team gets up.
Dude, BBJ is countering the Avenging Wrath of Urel over and over and over again with his Sound Wave and with the level 4 off the wall CDR talent. A final chance for Diamond Hands to make a play right before the Immortal is taken. Another great Ice Wall there by Lauber. He drops lower and lower, but he blinds the Zul'jin. Lauber will go down, but it comes at a great reward as Storm nabs this Immortal and is able to take that. Arrow! They're not done yet! They want to engage before the Immortal arrives!
BBJ is looking for a push-off target. As you can see him wall riding, gets the push onto Uki right there with that little sound wave. Currently, just for anyone wondering, Immortal does 802 damage, but into structures, that is 1,604 damage from this Belith in the top lane. Gottfeld looking for the deflect value, but it's not coming through, Grubby.
Nope, it's not really working out. You gotta stop loading damage into deflect when you see it. That's one way to counterplay. There's the D-Shield D-Blade. Some of the best timing of it so far, but again, Sound Barrier, 6 seconds. Don't care about your splash damage. They're gonna use the final D-Blade to clear up the Immortal as Diamond Hands scrambles to hold on to some semblance of stability, keeping that fort at 10% HP. Just used 2 really long cooldown heroics, and now is up against it. Let's see how many towers they have taken down. 2 towers in the bottom lane. That's it. They're down almost 2 levels. Top lane will forever be a major fragility. And as much as I thought this was going to be a great draft, Storm Esports is outplaying it pretty hard. Lucio stopping all the engages. Ice walls have been sublime. Arrows hitting.
Oh, God.
And then Tychus's grenades, man.
Whoa.
So many last hits.
Did you watch Kepi's health just go down by 2/3? Because I sure did.
I saw that. Oh, sick.
Was that, final cut value plus the Shingun. Okay.
Shingun. Yeah, he must have had some really big melee shurikens.
Yeah, hitting an enemy hero with all 3 shuriken deals 216 bonus damage, and then you throw in some autos. You got that final cut with some extra damage from the Swift Strike. A lot of burst ability from this Genji with that 16 being picked up as well. But now, ensnare, big ensnare. Hanzo rips an arrow, gonna teep door next to the enemy team, and that is Lucio dead. And that's a big moment for the side of Diamond Hands. 48 seconds on the Lucio, 20 seconds for the Immortal phase. Can Diamond Hands get their first Immortal of this game 17, 18 minutes in?
It couldn't have come at a better time, Bahamut. That kill, that ensnare on Lucio, as BBJ felt the full liberty of having lived rent-free on the side of Diamond Hands' map. But yeah, Diamond Hand even going for the bruiser kill. Lauber trying to get the fort. Not enough siege damage. Okay, just go back. Just do it one more time. Blizzard, snowball, let's go.
Will Lauber Hearth out in time? Did Ducky see it? Ducky didn't even
He didn't see it. He didn't see it, but he's here now.
Oh my God.
That's what matters.
No way does Lauber get out of this.
He doesn't, but this is gonna take a while. Cue Benny Hill music.
Oh.
Took less long than I thought.
Yeah, I was ready to go for a couple minutes on that song for you all, but apparently Diamond Hands wasn't a fan of it.
No, weird. I thought it sounded great, but I actually feel like that is not worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
Unpopular opinion, I know, but catapults, slightly more catapults. I don't think that's gonna do it. Bottom lane.
What is... Okay, BBJ... Oh, they're hearthing. Okay. They're just pushing up the wave. I was like, are they trying just to backdoor this right now? No.
Hashtag options. Hashtag fear. Diamond Hands needs to push out those waves. When Lucio shows up there, that's going to actually make them kind of scared. Look at that. Look at Genji. He's thinking of coming down here. Not falling for it, though.
And you've got Tychus and Hanzo to defend. Granted, this is a fully shielded Alarian that deals 1,852 damage into structures. It's gonna get fort. It's gonna get keep front gate. But will it be top? Will it be the game? I don't think it will be the game.
Well,
Maybe
it depends. If more follow-up deaths happen, I mean, 19 into 20, that should never happen. I think you keep wall, and then I think you actually peel back and try to take bottom fort. And if you're Storm, I think you let that Immortal go and you try to catch Diamond Hands on the bottom fort. But let's see how it actually plays out into these level 20s. You see the Odin, Arrow, decent hit, but there's a cleanse. Aki jumps in. I'm surprised about that. The engage on Kepi. The Swift Strike, but there's the sound barrier, and that's a Bossa Nova. It comes back in 20 seconds.
Very low cooldown on that heroic for BBJ. The Ice Wall comes out, actually locking down the Genji. Valimar is going to trigger the silence as well, and BBJ gets the push off away from Uki. We have got Filth still with that Dragon's Blade. No 20 talent here either. The keep will go down. Sonic Arrow, Bullseye, level 20, will stun out Uki, but the fight continues out. Is this too much from BBJ? Did he step way too far forward? Absolutely, he is going to be picked off, and it seems like that's enough to dissuade Diamond Hands to back off and go and clear their core through the bottom lane. That bottom lane catapult dealing nearly 800 damage to structures.
Sweet baby Jesus. I think Diamond Hands got about as much out of that as they possibly could.
Oh, yeah.
They knowingly, courageously stepped forward with the 1920, executed Order 66 on Hanzo. Didn't quite work out. Bought enough time to actually get the keep instead of the more safe play that I advocated, which is to get the keep wall, leave, get bottom fort. Not only that, but they saved Suljin from the disengage. I think BBJ misplayed that pretty big, actually. Suljin was stuck in a blizzard, and he pushed him out of it, back to his own team. Kind of a mixed bag. Yes, he's now closer to your team, but he didn't get stuck in the blizzard. And then he got Malf-rooted. Valimar, then Suljin with the ensnare. They kill Lucio, who had Bossa Nova available. That's rough. Like, it's been a solid... Like 4 consecutive deaths here. There's another arrow. Cleanse is perfect. Tastingo, a little bit impetuous.
It also will be the level 20 Tastingo, so you get a little extra healing on that as well. Hold on, I'm waiting to see. Uki comes in for the flank with the dive. That's going to be BBJ with the sound barrier is able to live.
I mean, that's Bossa Nova down again for 20 seconds. Pretty big heroics being used, though. Dragon Blade D-Shield still up, and I think that's very important.
And this is 20 Dragon Blade as well, so it's going to be infinite as Lobber steps into the bush and just gets annihilated here. Is there a Cryo Freeze? No! Lobber goes down. Bad Benny so very low. Got Filth comes in with the infinite Dragon Blade and a little deflect, trying to avoid some of that tower damage. Nice knockback, but that is still the kill into this Hogger. Sound Barrier from the Lucio will save a couple members here. And Storm Esports are falling apart to Diamond Hands in the latter half of game number 5. Is it the pressure? Is it the oppression of the Genji Suljin? I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of both here, Grubby.
Yeah, it's just Diamond Hands. They're really on point catching Lucio. BBJ, I don't want to say the I word. He's going forwards. He's doing scouting. He's doing these things, but he doesn't have high five. I feel like a lot of Lucios are actually adapting to the no high five meta very slowly because they've been playing it so much. Right. And anytime it's a situation for sound barrier, because you're not as afraid of crowd control, you're more afraid of the big AoE wombo combo, in this case D-Blade, you're doing moves that would normally allow you to be safe, but that aren't safe anymore.
Yeah.
These adjustments are coming in slowly. We saw the same thing with 30K. 30K won 3 series in a row in the CCL Season 2. Then the patch hit, they lost Yasu's Lucio. They lost the high five. He tried to run sound barrier and some different level 20, and it just didn't look nearly as good.
No.
And we're kind of seeing the same thing here. BBJ, he played amazingly with sound barrier, He did the sound waves. But he's playing too risky. He got caught a few times.
Might have gotten caught right there as well. The sound barrier does come out from the Lucio as Hansa rips an arrow in the backline, and Ice Wall comes out as well. Lauber is going to be able to skate away with that icing. Ivy Tings with the big red button trying to clear out this Immortal as quickly as possible. That shielding still needs to be annihilated, and that will get picked off. Look at Ucky with the Avenging Wrath ready to go over the wall, jumps over, trying to set something up, but does not happen. This keep is being pushed in so hard by Diamond Hands. Is it enough to actually take down the keep? A little bit of revolving a twin cleave from this Zul'jin, and the keep does go down. Godfield dives into the back line. Is this to push to take core from the side of Diamond Hands, or are they going to continue?
Seems risky.
It seems very risky. I agree with you, Grubby, and that's the call to back off from the side. Oh, nice use of the ensnare just to stop Lauber from aggressing.
He doesn't even have spinny access yet. 21 out of 30 stacks. Oh, Uther, he comes back to life, no? There's a shockwave. Uther goes down. He does come back to life, but no D-Blade this time. Oh, they get the Hondo kill in return. Uther heals, Uther armors, and he's gonna come back to life. There's the Zul'jin Ice Wall. Godfield's Dragon Blade is resetting on every hit. Dayquaza tries to push him away, but it's not enough. Godfield is still around, but they're gonna turn on May, and they're gonna look at the core, and they're like, oh, hold on a second. Is this still good for us? That's a lot of catapults.
Yeah, it's just under 1,000 damage from catapults into structures. With the Zul'jin on the left side of the map, as well as this May, they're trying to, or Yrel, they're trying on the side of Storm to make some sort of turnaround. Bad Benny has the Divine Shield just in time right there as Zul'jin has rotated back in. Ucky coming around as well. There's going to be in the ensnare onto Dayquaza. This is so close, Grubby!
14 seconds to Hanzo. He's going to come out straight with an arrow. Awkward here that the objective wasn't up yet, or Diamond Hands would certainly be aligned with purpose to set that up. But they can still go back and be like, all right, this is once again not working out. They did use some pretty big heroic cooldowns. D-Shield, 60 seconds. But they're going to grab camp number 1, camp number 2, the Bruiser camp, and then they're going to set up for a slow Immortal phase. For the first time in this game, time is on Diamond Hands' side. Now let's flip the table and actually look at the reverse side. Storm Esports started off in a nearly unlosable position, or so it seems. But Diamond Hands has scaled. You're now down to equal keeps, aka 0, but the core is weak. You've got Odin, you've got Bossa Nova. Storm Esports, do you just run for the core? The trade isn't good enough anymore.
Seems like, though, Storm wants to go for another trade. There's going to be a snowball to slow down the Zul'jin. Zul'jin did get caught by the Ice Wall. Blizzard right underneath Zul'jin taking a lot of damage. There's going to be that Shatter level 20. Follow up with the Shockwave from this Hogger comes through. Toss Dingo with the level 20 upgrade gives the healing back to Fun, so he's back to half health, looking comfortable right now. This fight, this engagement, it is so nerve-wracking. Grubby, I'm nervous for both sides. I'm nervous for Twitch Chat's points.
Twitch Chads.
I said it.
He was so scared of Genji, he just straight up D-shielded him. They still know they have Fallen Bruiser Camp pushing in bottom with double catapults. Diamond Hands wants to make this last. I'm not sure they can. Das Dingo was used. D-shield is used. Funds is going down. But the return kill on Kepi. Sound Barrier is going to keep Kepi alive. They're going to be having the chase into Ucky, who did use the Ardent Defender. Ibetings looking for the damage. Lauber stepping in further. Valimar going to get zoned by the Blizzard. And Lauber just sticking to Valimar like glue, trying to find this kill for the friendly team. There's a Shockwave from Hogger. Genji gets his kill on his... Genji gets a kill onto his brother. Odin comes down. And Storm Esports, they're not messing around. There's an Ice Wall out to delay things out. The Shatter's going to be there. But the core call is out from Storm. Will this be enough? Can Diamond Hands weather the storm from the sound barrier of Lucio? Bad Benny falling low here. The core is starting to fall, but the same can be said on the right side. It's a core race, ladies and gentlemen. It's so very close between both these sides, but in the end, it's going to be Storm Esports to take the game in oh my god, Grubby. In an oh my god fashion, indeed, Bahamut. That's so sick. Storm actually gets that race. There was 3 catapults with a Fallen Bruiser on the core of Storm Esports. It was do or die, it was make or break, and Storm managed to pull through. After losing straight for 10 minutes long in this game, they managed to get this victory. So sick. Storm Esports, huge congratulations. The ice walls were incredible. The Odin damage was enough. Lucio redeemed himself in those final moments. They danced around the core, and it was close. Like that 27% that they got before from the catapults on core, that was the key. That was the key.
And I feel, McIntyre, like we've seen this before. There's been some situations in previous weekends of CCL where just a little bit of core damage is the literal difference in a best-of-5 series. Mac, what are you feeling after that game?
Yeah, it's it's funny. I'm writing notes for this game, and I'm saying, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is really good. Okay, wait a second. This is turning around, right? It seemed like, in the beginning of the game, we have the double D coming in from the Uther Genji, and the execution of it not being on time and kind of getting countered by that sound barrier over and over again. And it's just looking very dire for Diamond Hands. What do they do? How can they figure it out? And then they actually find their solution. It's BBJ. If you can take down BBJ, then you slowly start to take down Storm, right? An insane ensnare coming out from Funds. Able to get a pick and get the momentum going back, right? And here we are pushing in with the top push, 19-20, back and forth over and over. And as you guys said, that 27%, I think, or something, it was like 20-something percent they had got before, enough to give them enough buffer on that race at the very end. Able to close it out because of it. What an insane game for both teams. Honestly, one of the best series we've seen so far.
I can't argue against that. That was such a fun series, and I believe we have Quaza on the line right now, so we can ask him about that series. My friend, are you sweating as much as Grubby and I? Because we were both sitting here just on the edges of our seats for that game number 5.
No, that ending was so close. At the end, we didn't even know how we could even win the team fight, and I don't know how we did, but we won it. I don't know.
It was a massive team fight and a wonderful turnaround in your favor. I want to throw this over to McIntyre for a couple questions.
So I want to commend you for your Hogger play. I don't know enough about Hogger, but I know that if you play it, it looks really good. So I just want to shout that out. But yeah, I don't really have any technical questions for you. I'm just curious because we watched your team play. We jumped into your team's comms. Are you guys having fun playing CCL? I know on our end, we love watching this series, but it seemed like every time we jumped into you guys' comms, you were just having a great time, enjoying yourselves. And does that, get your team to a victory where your back's to the wall, everything's dire, but you're still having fun and able to find a victory because of it?
Yeah, I am having fun playing CCL, and of course playing with those guys like my teammates is fun. The only thing is that with KP, I'm literally always playing Ogre. And I guess you can see that this series I played Ogre like 4 times. I think first game I didn't play Ogre. I was always the only Ogre. I'm legit always playing Ogre. I guess I'm fine with that since we're winning. But yeah, I'm having a lot of
If you had a character that's not Hogger, what is your solo lane that you'd love to play that's not Hogger and Kepi won't let you play?
I mean, I'm always asking to play Illidan, but I can live.
Oh, an Illidan player.
Never.
That's awesome.
Or sometimes Vikings, but nah, Vikings, never. Always Ogre.
Maybe we'll see that Illidan one day. Grubby, any questions for Quaza? Maybe.
We jumped into your comms once during Towers of Doom. It was very fun to listen in, and you guys were riding all the way to victory. 40-0 was off the table, but it could at least be 36-0 or anything. Soon after, we didn't dare to jump in anymore. Was the atmosphere morbid, or even during such times can you guys self-actualize and be like, well, lol, funny throw, but let's go next?
I mean, at some point, like, we were winning the game quite easily, and at some point we started getting hooked, and then it was like, of course, it's always kind of sad getting hooked, because like, it's not always your fault, and you just get hooked, and like, the game just falls apart, like, just randomly, and we just get picked off and picked off and picked off, and I mean, it was quite sad losing this game, because we were like, hard winning it, let's say at the beginning, but at least we won the next one, so it was fine. So
yeah, and you also had a really sorry. You also, there's a bit of a delay. you also had a really strong comeback victory on Sky Temple. You were in the macro game nightmare of having one keep up, one keep with 1% life. You're against triple keep. It's unwinnable. Double temple spawns, boss. What do you do? How did you do it?
Wait, I don't even remember what happened at the end. Was it the first
you
game?
were on the.
It was the second game.
No, second game, you were on the enemy side of the boss. You were trying to zone the boss. You engaged past the bridge. You died, but you guys killed Stukov. And then it was 4-on-4. And you guys pushed them all the way back to their keep.
Oh yeah. I mean, I came back Rift, I think, and my team just covered my ass, covered me, I guess, and just 1v9 the playing, I guess. Because I agreed this. I just did in and but they got the trick. Fine.
You showed a new Hogger build as well. Dynamite on 7 and 16, but not on level 1. First time we see this in the CCL.
It's the KP build. I think KP is just transforming the meta. Everyone is going for the KP builds, and KP told me to get that because he thinks that the W talents are the best, but the level 1 you don't need it because the sustain from the other level 1 is just better.
Inner rage. Yeah.
It was really fun. There was, and thank you for the insight, Declaza, into a little bit of the Hogger play as well as your team. Before I let you run out of here, are there any shoutouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Shout out to Storm, of course, for doing that. Shout out to CCL because playing CCL is super fun. And shout out to my teammates. They are carrying me. They are super good. And shout out to all the viewers watching the CCL. It's super nice. Watching. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Declaza. Good luck next weekend up against Oxygen Esports, and good luck in your scrims this upcoming week, my friend.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. What a humble man. I feel like a lot of the time we get these interviews, just the players are so humble. Oh well, I could have done better here, or I've got a lot of good leadership from my teammates. So it's really it's really good to hear. There's a lot of humbleness and happiness coming out from these players being able to play in Heroes CCL. Let's look at the schedule from today and see what our results are, because we had 4 amazing maps of Heroes of the Storm. Grubby, we kicked off today with 30k versus Simplicity. Was that what you expected when it comes to 3-1?
Yeah, I think 3-1 or 3-2 for Simplicity was to be expected. I did think 30k's drafting looked a little weak. They're going to have to improve it going into next week. Simplicity, for their part, looks really strong. Not much to remark about. And this series, both of them were incredibly entertaining. Almost every game in this series that we just watched was a comeback. So what more can you ask for?
I would have to say, out of all of the 4 best of 5s we've had this weekend, McIntyre, I'm very much leaning into this Diamond Hand versus Storm Esports. If I could go back and just watch one of these, it's this one, because it was just such a back and forth, such an amazing draft and drafts, that we had, and playstyle from both teams.
Yeah, it was like we said, it was a roller coaster. We pulled up to a ledge. It looked like we were gonna fall off. Shot us backwards. We did a 360. Shot us forwards, and then we turned the corner, and here we are at the end of the road. Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. Both those teams just really giving it their all, and showing us that the CCL is ever growing. Everyone's continuing to get better, and we have a very exciting future ahead of us.
Speaking of the future, we can go ahead and look at what our standings look like, because we talked about it at the start of the weekend, and we were like, ooh, what's it going to look like at the end of Sunday? And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Simplicity with a 4-1 score in first place. Storm Esports also with a 4-1 score. Now, just for anyone wondering, what is the difference? It is a 1-map difference between these two teams. Simplicity has a 14-7 record. Storm Esports with a 14-8 record. So if we were actually looking, if Storm Esports won that Towers of Doom game, it would have been basically the same record leaving going into week number 6 as we are coming into week number 5. It's absolutely crazy. But 30k in our 3rd spot, Wildheart in 4th, 5th Chili Mountain, Diamond Hand 6th, Oxygen in 7th, and Granite Gaming in 8th. But Granite Gaming did take a win this weekend up against Chili Mountain. So there is that silver lining for Granite, who are starting to build some momentum, albeit in the later half of the season. But some upsets are possible going into the future weekends here. I just want to kind of get your thoughts on the standings as well, Grubby. Were expectations met in what you're seeing right now, or is it a little bit of a, I didn't expect to see them kind of jump up in the standings?
Well, I wasn't sure if Granite Gaming was going to be able to get their first victory. You mentioned the silver lining, but not every silver lining around clouds will eventually reveal the sun. And next week, they are going to be up against Simplicity, so it may indeed still be a downpour for them going into the next match. They still have a very difficult match coming up in Simplicity. We'll see if Granite can keep building on their improvements. But if it's Stitches based or Kerrigan based, we've already seen Simplicity squash that today against 30k. So that could be tough. On the other hand, I think Granite Gaming's Kerrigan is better than 30k's Kerrigan, so maybe not. We'll see. But that was the big surprise for me. Granite Gaming getting their first victory, a pleasant surprise, I must add.
It was a very fun weekend of games, and we had a lot of good ones coming back into the focus of our 2 best of 5. So I want to go ahead and get on over to Mac, and I believe you have a little bit of a breakdown for us on some of the plays from today.
Indeed, yeah. This is PSD's support play of the day. It's going to be game number 1 of today, actually, the 30k versus Simplicity series. I kind of want to showcase Falstad play here coming out from HeroesHearth and his ability to support his team as they get engaged on and kind of set up a fight, I guess. He's even baiting it. He's like, if they play into this, I have big gust. And we can see X-Ray kind of baiting. Simplicity takes the bait, starts to commit to it. Ice Wall comes down, and here it is in all its glory. The gust into the wall. Isolation follow up as well with the contagion. What's crazy about this is Simplicity kind of turns pretty heavy into it, but Dino on that Cassia doing so much damage. And you can see here, X-Ray with a hook as well to sustain himself. And the follow-up onto Cure as they clean up this kill. One more hook just to bury the hatchet. And 30k is going to walk their way to the core in the bottom lane. Just a really good play, again, to set your team up for success. Remember that you need to kind of set a bait first, right? We talked about maintain Cassia. We talked about, in this case, a Stitches, but, highlighting the players that are playing around that, right? Who's playing up front and causing ruckus and who's following up on it. In this case, HeroesHearth doing a great job to support his team. Mega Gust, really well-deserved win there in that Curse Hall game.
You got to stay cool, calm, collective, and comfortable in those PSD underwear, and I'm sure HeroesHearth was able to do it, and that's how he was able to come up with that play for the friendly team. It was really, really good, and thank you, McIntyre, for highlighting that clip, because it definitely is one that lives rent-free in my brain after today's matches. Speaking of today's matches, well, we actually did that already, so let's talk about next week's matches. What are we going to be seeing next Saturday? Grubby.
WildHeart Esports going up against 30k. 30k started off strong, but then has suffered back-to-back losses to now sit at that 3-2 score. WildHeart themselves are at a 2-3. They started off strong as well. 3-0 over Chili Mountain in the first match. They even beat Simplicity 3-2, but have also lost the next 3 matches. So score is similar, but they have been losing all their last games. Someone will break their loss streak. Simplicity against Granite could be the most lopsided match of the league so far, with Simplicity the heavy favorite. But you want to watch that one if you like rooting for the underdog. Magic may yet happen.
I am very excited for that Simplicity versus Granite Gaming matchup because, as I agree with you, it on paper seems very lopsided, but Granite Gaming, they got a week to prep. They got a week to do some research. Maybe they can find a way to shut down Simplicity. It's going to be in the hands of Granite Gaming to be able to do that. As we close out today's broadcast, I want to be able to get your closing thoughts here. McIntyre, what is your takeaway from today's matches or even just this weekend?
Yeah, just again, I'm just excited to see these players. It seems again like they're having fun. They're all scaling. Everyone's continued to say we're scaling, we're getting better. To see the teams say that about themselves, to recognize that they're improving, that's motivating. That the prize pool continuing to go up every week. The support that you guys are having in the Twitch chat, I mean, it's showing in these teams, right? The 2 teams that we just watched, they were just drafted this season, completely brand new to the CCL, and here they are continuing at the top with just players that have never played together before, right? And here we are, only 4 weeks in, and they're already on top of their game. So super exciting for the future and what's to hold. Yeah, overall, really great weekend.
Grubby?
Yeah, I can only echo that. And I think most importantly, everyone is just having a lot of fun. We, the casters are, the players are, which is great. And obviously the viewers are. So around the legitimacy of the HeroesCCL Esports here and the performances that just keep getting better, everyone's having fun. What more could we ask for?
I could have asked for one more map from 30K versus Simplicity, which would have been 20 total maps throughout this entire weekend. But no, realistically, I had so much fun with this, and we're all going to kind of sound the same here, but we really do love the Heroes the Storm esports community as well as just Heroes the Storm in general. So it's awesome to see the support from you at home into our prize pool, from PSD joining us this weekend throughout the rest of the season as one of our sponsors in HeroesCCL, and the players, the teams, everyone having so much fun, and to you at home who are enjoying these games. We want to thank you all once again for supporting Stream, as well as we want to remind you that we do have this PSD sponsorship. If you'd like to check out the curated catalog, you can do !PSD in chat, and if you like a few pairs of undergarments there, you can go ahead and add those to your shopping cart, and at the checkout you can use the 20% off code WISDOM to, well, get 20% off your shopping cart order. And one last thing about PSD as well, we do have a giveaway. This is probably your last chance to get into this giveaway. 4 sets of underwear will go to 3 lucky winners to celebrate this partnership. !giveaway in chat to get you a link over to that that giveaway potential. So thank you all once again for supporting HeroesCCL. Thanks again to PSD for joining us for HeroesCCL season. And this has been an amazing weekend. We thank you all for joining us as well at home. We'll see you next weekend, June 12th and 13th for HeroesCCL week number 6, starting at 1 o'clock PDT, 4 o'clock EDT, and 22 CEST. Until then, I've been Bahamut, joined by McIntyre and Grubby, and we'll see you in the Nexus. Good night.